Whites Creek injury crash, 24 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard North. Woodbine got a crash right there, 24 eastbound before I-440. Brake tapping, stop and go, I should say. Northbound 65 up to the South Loop, eastbound 440 over there to 24, and then the eastbound South Loop. Northbound North Loop. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, hello, hello. I am not Matt Murphy. My name is Chris Hand. It is 6 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? You can listen to the show on all the apps, the FM dial. You can watch us on Super Talk TV, on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. We got a lot to get to today. So I'll start with the airing of grievances. Not impressed with one Joan Jones. Not impressed at all. I got to sleep in today. That was cool.
That is cool, Brother Chris.
And we went out to breakfast.
All right.
We had to take two cars, right? So we took two cars because they had to go to another little. They had an appointment that they had to go to, and then I had to go let the dogs out one more time and then go to work, right? So we get to breakfast, and my wife said, "What'd you think?" You know, because we both listen to Joan. And I said, I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's not good. And she said, what? I thought she was doing an awesome job. And I said, I know. This is the issue. I can't let somebody fill it on my show and do a better job than I do.
That's right.
And that's what she did today. So I don't know. My time here is probably drawn short. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'll be honest. I would never do what Joan did to me today to Murphy this afternoon. I will be just below peak Murphy. Promises made, promises kept. All right?
Peak Murphy.
I will.
I've been told the reason you haven't been back since the shoulder surgery was because you were too good last time.
I'm telling you, I will flub, I will stumble, and I will mumble moving forward because I can't do what Joan did to me, to Matt Murphy, with good conscience and go into the weekend like that. In fact, I'm already debating canceling my vacation in June.
I bet your family will like that.
You know, and and I think it's going to happen one way or the other because we bought our tickets on Spirit. So.
Yeah, I think they may be done as soon as tomorrow.
That's not fair. It's not fair. They say they could shut down as soon as Saturday. CBS reporting Spirit Airlines making plans to cease operations, barring a last-minute intervention. Please, Mr. President, save my vacation.
I've got tickets.
Lord knows I have too many kids to be flying on American. I can't. You know what we make here? Not enough to fly on American, I'll tell you that much.
No, sir.
And I can't drive where we're going, so.
That stinks, man.
Help me, Mr. President. You're my only option.
Okay. I'll do it for Mr. Hand.
I voted for him 6 times. The least he could do for me would be a $500 million Spirit Airline bailout.
That's right.
That's it. That's all I want. That's all I want. It's probably not going to happen. We also, we got a big day. Nincompoops in the news.
Oh!
5:35.
Boy, I got a good one, boys.
It's not as good as mine. Sudden death. Sudden death today.
See, I've been telling everybody this isn't fair.
It is.
Because, Brother Hand, you are constantly mining the internet for dumbasses.
I am.
And you find a lot of them.
It's true. That's true. I'm ready. Also, early voting has already begun, and I'm up to 1. So I'm letting you guys know. Actually, I voted for myself. That's 2.
You know, I rarely say this, but vote for Weaver.
Early voting will go on from now until 5:25. Get your votes in early.
Voting.
What? There also will be mail-in voting.
Overnight.
10 Music Circle East. Send in your ballots. I'm just letting you know. And I might rig the whole thing. I've already told the boys the trophy's coming home. And we're going to be eating cereal out of it all weekend. My son said, "Can we heat up some beefaroni in it?" I said, "The trophy won't fit in the microwave, but we can pour the heated beefaroni into the trophy, and we can go that. We're going full Stanley Cup with this thing." You guys are
going
lucky.
to stay right here in News Closet B.
You're lucky that the pool's not open. It would have been at the bottom. I would have been taking pictures underwater with the trophy.
That would have actually been pretty cool.
It would have.
Now I have an idea.
It would. So.
See, I got to keep it, man, because right now in News Closet B, not only do I have the Nincompoops trophy, but I also have the one-hit wonder wrestling belt.
Ooh.
I've got both trophies.
Yeah, we'll fix that. We'll lighten your load.
No way, man.
We will.
We need to come up with another trophy.
I'm up to 3 on early voting. God bless you guys. 615-737-9986. So, I negotiated all of this. I hope you understand. It was tense negotiations.
With Murphy?
Yeah.
Of course.
All I had to do, I kept sending Godfather memes. Godfather Part 11.
You sent him a horse head.
I did. Said, "Listen, you come to me for a favor. I'm not negotiating. These are demands." Said, all right. So that's what we're doing. Vote early, vote often. 0324 said the WOC vote alone, the World Outreach Church, will get hand the victory. Thank you. If only churches were more active in voting, we wouldn't have to worry about these kinds of elections. We do. 9322 said their vote is for sale. Perfect. Sold. Yeah, we're going to have some fun today. Ken Weaver's in the newsroom. We got Jackson producing the whole thing. We also got a deadline. A deadline is here. It's passing. Operation Epic Fury deadline is today. That's right. Is it 60 days? Is that what we're hearing? We got the latest proposal from Iran. Donald Trump says he's not satisfied. Not impressed. I just want it to be over. If we're being perfectly honest, I'm tired of it. Even on the radio side of things, it has been so exhausting to talk about. And the way that it's dividing the conservative movement is infuriating too, because I often have to remind myself, and myself and Matt Murphy, we did the Mostly Peaceful podcast. It's just me and Murph this week. The only time you'll enjoy a Chris Murphy episode that has nothing to do with Connecticut. This is just me and Murph tomorrow on Mostly Peaceful. But it's like we agree as conservatives on 9 to 99% of issues. And the way this is dividing the party at a time that is so imperative to stay unified sucks. And at the end of the day, let's just end it so that way we can get to midterms. We can't let Donald Trump have a lame duck presidency for the next 2 years after November of 2026. And if we lose the House and we lose the Senate, that's what it looks like. I don't know if we're going to lose the House. We're going to lose the Senate. We got the Voting Rights Act stuff happening and popping off, and we'll talk about that in depth. A lot of people are screaming racism, and I just happen to roll my eyes and chuckle a bit. I don't see it as racism whatsoever. It's actually quite the opposite, but we'll get into that later on the show. The latest proposal Iran submitted, we got this from Breitbart. Iran has handed over a new proposal for negotiations with the United States mediators in Pakistan, according to Iran's state-run news agency. Iran submits the latest proposal for U.S. negotiations, says Baytaka Ezdizin and Munir Ahmadabad, Associated Press. In Islamabad. You can check me on the pronunciations, but I did the Google thing where you ask it to say it.
Got it.
Pretty sure I nailed it. They say Iran has handed over its latest proposal for negotiations with the United States mediators in Pakistan. Iran's state-run news agency reported the U.S. and Pakistan did not immediately confirm receiving the new proposal. There was no word on what the details are included in the plan submitted late Thursday, according to the report. But a shaky 3-week ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran appears to still be holding, though both countries have traded accusations of violations. I think it was confirmed. Breitbart says it hadn't been confirmed yet. I think it was confirmed later on in the day as Donald Trump got in there. He was walking out of the White House, and he stopped. I mean, he stopped for, 20 minutes or so and answered every question that the media had for him. If you're watching us on Super Talk TV, we'll have the video to go along with this. This is Donald Trump outside the White House today.
So they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we'll see what happens. Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it.
If they want to make a deal, I'm not satisfied. Maybe they're wanting to make a deal. Maybe we're hearing from one faction of leadership and not the other faction of leadership. Who knows who's in charge in that country? What I do know is that the president slapped down the War Powers Act. Yesterday we had another vote. The Democrats voting again to limit the president in this happened in the Senate. They were voting to limit his power on the conflict. I think at the end of the day, we can all agree that we don't want the Democrats dictating the president's foreign policy, no matter which side of the aisle you are on the Iran conflict. But he was asked by a reporter, why won't you seek congressional approval to extend the Iran war?
Because it's never been sought before. There's been many, many times, and nobody's ever gotten it before. They consider it totally unconstitutional. But we're always in touch with Congress. But nobody's ever sought it before. Nobody's ever asked for it before. It's never been used before. Why should we be different?
Why change things now? They've worked so well. Everything's going great. The president went on to be asked about Iranian leadership. He says the infighting internally in Iran so bad that they may never be able to reach a deal. That's comforting.
Are you willing to send anybody to Islamabad? For anyone?
We have great respect for Pakistan and Islamabad, and tremendous respect for the Prime Minister and the Field Marshal. And they're working with us. They continue to work with us. But the trip is a very long one, and we're doing everything in terms of negotiating right now, in terms of the negotiation telephonically. They've made strides, but I'm not sure if they ever get there.
I like the telephonically. Did anybody pick that up? We're doing it. We're doing it telephonically. What the hell? I love the guy. I don't know. Have you ever used that in normal conversation?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I was after Joan did such a great job on my show.
You started looking up words.
I was looking for work. And they said I got one interview lined up. They said we could do it by Zoom or we could do it telephonically. And I said, perfect. I'll take the telephonic option. Thank you. But he went on to say, listen, there's 4 groups struggling for power within Iran right now. I think that's a mess of our own making when you knock out four levels of leadership.
But you kill them all.
But that's what we're dealing with.
There's tremendous discord. They're having a tremendous problem getting along with each other in Iran. The leadership is very disjointed. It's got 2 to 3 groups, maybe 4, and it's a very disjointed leadership. And with that being said, they all want to make a deal, but they're all messed up.
They're all messed up, and if they don't make the right deal, we will bomb them. He was asked, "Are we ruling out new strikes on Iran? When are new strikes on Iran coming?" And this was his response.
Why would I tell you that?
Why would I tell you? I love it. I do. Listen, I love the art of the deal here. You can't rule anything out, and that he's never going to tell the reporters the plans. So it is, at the end of the day, kind of a stupid question, right?
Yeah, I mean, he will not do that, and you wouldn't want him to do that.
No. But he said, he went on. He's like, we could go in there and finish him. Well, I mean, we could blast the hell out of him if we wanted to. This is the president earlier today, White House, North Lawn.
Options. What kind of options? How would it look different?
There are options. I mean, do we want to go and just blast the hell out of them and finish him forever, or do we want to try and make a deal? I mean, those are the options.
Do you want to go blast the hell out of him?
I'd prefer not. On a human basis, I'd prefer not, but that's the option. Do we want to go in there heavy and just blast them away, or do we want to do something? They're a very disjointed unitship, as you can understand, Peter. Very disjointed. I mean, they're not getting along with each other, and it puts us in a bad position. One group wants to make a certain deal. The other group wants to make a certain deal, including the hardliners. The hardliners want to make a deal, too. Why wouldn't they? They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. They have no nothing.
Do we want to go in there and blast the hell out of them? I don't know. Maybe. Do we want to go negotiate? It's probably more preferable. I'm waiting for the reports this weekend where it's Donald Trump and he comes on TV and he goes, well, anyways, I started blasting. Because it feels like that's where we're headed. More strikes towards Iran. I don't know how we get this cleaned up as quickly as humanly possible. I just know that that's what I think a lot of the American people want, especially as you're staring at gas prices continue to climb up. You know that's going to ripple through the economy very fast with inflation. It's tough when the guy campaigned on affordability and gas prices are high. And he had some comments yesterday inside the Oval Office where he's like, is it better for Iran to have a nuclear weapon than to have gas prices high? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I'll be perfectly honest with you. What do you think? 615-737-9986. We'll bring you some more audio from the president on the way. Plus, we're monitoring what's happening in the United States currently. Any breaking news that comes through, we'll have it for you here first on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Spring is the season to gear up, and there's no better time to upgrade your equipment and to save big at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply during Toro Days, now through May 17th. We want you to take advantage of the incredible savings on Toro walk mowers, designed for big-time power, long-lasting durability, and easy operation that works just as hard as you do. I've been a Toro man myself, and I absolutely love these mowers. Whether you're landscaping professionally or a serious homeowner, Toro delivers the performance that you can count on. And when it comes to quality equipment, replacement parts, and expert advice, there's only one place to go, and that's go where the pros go. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, with 7 convenient Middle Tennessee locations. Count them down now: Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. Help is always just a few minutes away. Stop in today or shop online at DickensSupply.com. That's DickensSupply.com. Do me a favor and tell them that Matt Murphy sent you in to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Go where the pros go, to your one-stop Toro shop, Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply.
Had a school put on soft lockdown in Tennessee, got a manhunt underway in Tennessee, and there are some eyebrows raised after Channel 4 did some digging into the spending habits of the Nashville Public Schools superintendent when it comes to the district's credit card. We'll let you know about that at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. It is 26 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy. He's taking the day off. His back is hurting from carrying the team, so we'll give him the grace and the space that he needs. Obviously, I can't carry the load by myself, so the phone lines are open for you to join the conversation, 615-737-9986. Let's go to our friend Alan on the road. Wants to talk about Iran. What's up, Al?
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Not much. What do you got?
Something that I've been hearing, and I think we need to keep in mind here, that there's two completely different mindsets going on. You and I, we're looking at gas prices. We're looking at how we're affected today. And as you said a minute ago, I'm not sure, gas prices versus Iran having a nuclear weapon. What's the issue there? All right, we've got to remember that this is no longer the United States and the Soviet Union or Pakistan and India. We're not looking at, I'll have a nuke, you'll have a nuke, and then we'll fight without it. We won't use them.
Right.
This is a completely different mindset. The Iranians are not looking for a nuclear stalemate. They're not looking to join the nuclear club, and now all of a sudden we're all wearing the same T-shirt and hat. They're looking for one nuclear weapon. They've got a specific plan for it. Remember that the Quran tells certain sects the Messiah will come, the Mahdi, M-A-H-D-I, will come and take everyone to heaven after a period of global catastrophic warfare. They're not looking to win. They're not looking to stalemate. They're looking to ignite. They're looking to trigger. If the Iranians get a nuclear bomb, they only need one. They only want one. They're not going to put it on a missile. They're going to deliver it either to one of two places, either one of the major ports on the east coast of the United States, and it may come with an Iranian flag on it. It may come with a Hezbollah flag or a Hamas flag. It may be through a proxy. They're just looking to light off the fire that will become that global catastrophe that will then bring about their Messiah and their version of the rapture.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I guess my question would be like, how much more destruction do we need to bring to them to ensure that they're not going to get there soon? Because at the end of the day, we have to also zoom out and look at the American political landscape, and we have to acknowledge the fact that Donald Trump got in and he won with such a massive landslide because of a lot of the independents and a lot of the moderates. And we had an opportunity to really usher in an American era of greatness, right? But if we lose in the midterms, then he is going to be absolutely his hands are going to be tied. And then we're going to be up against.
You're thinking short term, brother. You're thinking short term.
But I'm not though. But I'm not.
And the generational game.
I am too. And I'd explain it. Like, if his hands are tied and the Democrats get back in power, then do we lose J.D. Vance in 2028? Do we lose Republican control of the White House in 2028? Possibly. And if we lose Republican control of the White House and we don't have control of the Senate and we don't have control of the House, the Democrats are going to get in and they're going to do exactly what the Republicans don't have the balls to do currently, which is nuke the filibuster. And if the Democrats nuke the filibuster, then they're going to be stacking the Supreme Court. D.C. and Puerto Rico are going to be a state, and 30 million illegal aliens that are in the country right now, well, they're going to be amnestied. And I'm not even like 100% against the war, but I do think that we need to game plan this stuff out. If that happens with the Democrats, well, I mean, we can kiss our country goodbye as it is right now.
Okay. I'm with you, 100% with you. But I had one question. What's worse, all of that or Savannah, Georgia's smoking hole in the ground? Because one of the two of them could happen very easily.
I don't know, man.
Iran's not looking to stalemate. All they need to do is get a school bus with a dirty nuke on it into Tel Aviv, and there will be no stopping Israel. There will be nothing you can do to pull them back, and they will obliterate whatever's left of Iran. And that's the global catastrophe that they're after.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't want to even put a leash on Israel. Like, I think Israel should fight Israel's war against Iran if they want to. I just don't. I don't necessarily want to be involved with it. I think that we have bigger fish to fry here domestically.
I got you. And if we don't, I think you asked me a second ago, how do we resolve this so that we don't have to do it again and again and again? We've got to get the nuclear material away from Iran. They simply cannot have enriched uranium to the point where they can make a bomb. Now they use
but there's no way that we can do any of that without a good negotiation process, because there's no like there's no
at the table.
There's yeah.
We're never going to get what we have in Korea. We're never going to get the North and South Koreans to agree. We're never going to get the Iranians and the Israelis to sit down the way the Koreans did and agree on that mutual ceasefire.
No,
it's never going to happen.
I hear you. And I mean, that's why it's such a sticky situation. Hey, I appreciate the call. We're up against it. We'll take more of your phone calls on the other side. 615-737-9986. It's Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got a situation about 85 miles east of Nashville today. The Putnam County Sheriff's Office investigating after placing an elementary school on a soft lockdown. They went to the school to investigate a suspicious man on the campus. 78 miles west of Nashville, Stewart County deputies conducting a manhunt for a suspect accused of shooting his wife. Investigators say Craig Berry ran into the woods off Old Paris Highway around 1:30 this morning. They're still looking. Operation Epic Fury. Before leaving the White House for a trip to Florida, President Trump telling reporters he's not satisfied with the latest peace proposal from Iran. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge tells us.
The Iranians still control the Strait of Hormuz. They still control that vital waterway for many, many exports for around the world, and that is pushing up gas prices in the U.S. The Iranians still clearly think that they have cards to play, even though that President Trump is clearly betting that this pressure on Iran will bring them to the table and the Iranians will ultimately make concessions.
Meanwhile, Gas Buddy putting the average price per gallon in Middle Tennessee today up 1 cent from yesterday. We're at $3.98. And right now in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4's investigation claims records it obtained show that Metro Nashville Public School Superintendent Dr. Adrian Battle spent more than $19,000 on travel over the past 2 years, including luxury hotel stays and a dinner bill topping $700. The spending far exceeds that of other Tennessee superintendents, some of whom reported little to no travel costs in the same time period. Critics argue the expenses are difficult to justify as a $6.5 million settlement, or rather after a $6.5 million settlement for wrongful termination on the part of the district. Also, her $165,000 office remodel so she could have a private bathroom. In a statement, the district says superintendent travel is essential to building partnerships, learning best practices, and ultimately benefiting students. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. South Loop got a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder, 40 eastbound, right there at 65. In Madison, injury crash, Gallatin Pike south of Hickory Street. Whites Creek, an injury crash, 24 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. Lot of brake tapping, slowing things down eastbound 440 over to 24. Then that continues eastbound 24 from 440. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, folks. Matt Murphy for Better Water. Better Water. Everybody wants better water, right? But have you called? Better Water LLC. Think of it as a big Brita filter for your home or your office. Scalable from under the sink. More on that in a moment. That's what I did in my home to whole house applications. They'll come out to your home and give you a free inspection and figure out what's going on in your home or your place of business. Is there sulfur in your water, iron, chlorine, bacteria, E. coli? Do you have hard water, as they say? They offer a full range of water treatment options and equipment, from reverse osmosis units to water softeners, specialized filters, UV lights, you name it. They do it based out of Smyrna right here in Middle Tennessee. So we received an RO system in our home under the sink that eliminates and filters the water and gives us that beautiful branch that we like to drink from. Now, we were told that our water is A-OK, but from a taste perspective, we wanted to make sure that we had it pristine, and we've got it now. Thanks to Better Water LLC. They're going to talk to you, and they're going to figure out what you need for your home, and they're going to help you treat that water. They treat the water at the hospitals, they treat the water at the coffee shop, and they want to do your home or your place of business as well. Give them a call. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you, 615-355-6063, 355-6063, or online at betterwater.com, betterwater.com. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Shane Ring and Cover Nash. They can help find the insurance program that's right for you. And all it takes is a telephone call to our friends over there. Shane does it all from right in Brentwood, and you can go by and see him in his Brentwood office, or you can do this over the phone, right? So what separates Cover Nash from everyone else? Well, first and foremost, they shop all of the insurance programs and plans that are available to you, for you, in the state of Tennessee. So they can find the right one for you, specific to your circumstance and situation. Whether you have a lot of family, whether you're just by yourself, whatever it might be, they're going to identify that. And oh, by the way, before you say, well, Murphy, this is April. There's nothing you can do in April, right? It's not open enrollment. Shane wants to help you understand. This is language used by companies that don't want you to be able to have the flexibility that you truly have. He can work out a program for you. You don't have to play by Washington's rules. Shane and Cover Nash can help cut your costs, in some cases, in half. If you're self-employed, uninsured, or just tired of paying too much, call 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or online at coverdash.com.
39 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy, who is off today. You're welcome to join the show any way you'd like, 615-737-9986. I got a text here from 4322. Said, so if the Republicans nuke it, I'm assuming he means the filibuster and not Iran. If the Republicans nuke it, are we just running off the hope of them not getting in power again, referring to the Democrats? I mean, I think if they nuke the filibuster, then we get the Save America Act passed. If illegal aliens can't vote, I think it's a lot harder for the Democrats to win elections. If there's voter ID nationwide, I think it's a lot harder for Democrats to win elections. And I think that's why we've seen them thrashing and gnashing their teeth anytime it's brought up. That's my opinion. I'm open to the fact that I could be wrong, and I definitely want to hear from you as well. President Trump on high gas prices.
Now, when this war ends, gasoline and oil and everything is going to come tumbling down. But right now, as of this moment, the stock market has hit record highs. We have more people, again, working in the United States today than at any time in the history of our country. We are really doing well. Now,
so gas prices are high. The stock market, though, that's booming. I don't think that means much to young voters. I'll just be perfectly honest. Gen Z, millennial voters, becoming one of the largest voting blocs in the entire country. It's who got Donald Trump over the hump in 2024. I don't know if that message is going to resonate with them. I just don't. I don't think it will. How many millennials or Gen Zers do you know with high investments in the stock market? I mean, sure, it probably plays with the older audience, and I get that. But we're going to need the youth vote to keep going. President Trump continues.
Now, gasoline's high. Other prices are way down, but gasoline's high. But when this is over, you'll have a world without a nuclear weapon with Iran. If you allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, the world would be in great jeopardy. So it's not going to happen.
So that's the president's comments today. You're welcome to weigh in any way you'd like. 615-737-9986. Go to David on line 1. What's up, Dave?
Good afternoon. I heard you talking earlier about how you disagree with us being in Iran, and I just don't understand how people and me and you agree on a lot of things. So let me state that as well.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm sure we do.
We as Republicans or conservatives, whatever you want to call us, MAGA, whatever, need to all get on the same page like the Democrats. The Democrats, they stick together thick, thin, no matter what, man. Guns a-blazing all the time, and we're all fighting amongst ourselves, and it's just we're going to end up losing again because of that, in my opinion.
I mean, listen. But
what do you think of that statement?
I was down with the 4 to 6 week operation, and I was hoping that it would be a blip on the radar. But then you get the Energy Secretary Chris Wright coming out and saying gas prices won't go down until next year. You got conversations about the blockade lasting another 6 months, and then you see the Republican big tent just absolutely corroding. And the Democrat voters still having all this energy, and they're going to go vote for.
Bringing it down, we got to pump each other up. I'm sorry to butt in, but
no. Listen, I don't necessarily think that you're off base per se, but I think the quickest way to do that would be to get us the hell out of Iran, because I think a lot of people in this country have PTSD over the quagmires that we've had in the Middle East over the past couple decades.
But let's get them done with once and for all instead of messing around with them for years and years. I mean, if it takes 6 months, 8 months, I'm fine with it. And I'm that older one that looks at the stock market and don't really care about gas. I mean, I think it's going to come way down when they get this thing over with. Man, we'll see $2 a gallon. Hell, we saw $2.07 just 3, 4, or 5 months ago.
I mean, that's there's definitely potential for that. But if that's a year and a half from now, and the Democrats have
I agree with you. If it takes that long, we're going to have issues. But he's got to get under control before the election, and we got to back him. That's all I'm getting.
I'm just looking at what happened in the first Trump term when he had to deal with the impeachments and he had to deal with the investigations, and then we saw what the Democrats did to him after the fact. It's like, do we really want to relive all of that?
Right. I mean, like I said, we agree on most things. I just wish we as conservatives would all get on the same page as the Democrats do, because that's the only reason they beat us. They lie together, they cheat together, they steal together, and they're on each other, with each other, no matter what. I'm not saying we should do that stuff, but we should stick together and have the same story, the same page, and rock on. That's all I got to say.
I hear you, man, and I appreciate the call, Dave. Let's go to Susan on line 2. What's up, Sue?
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good. What do you got?
I was just calling in. I thought I heard you say a while ago that you didn't agree, or when it came to the price of gas or a nuke not blowing us up, that you didn't know which way you would lean.
Well,
Did I hear that correctly?
I mean, you're dealing in hypotheticals here. We do know the price of gas is going up, and to say that a nuke is going to blow up Savannah, Georgia, it's like, okay, I mean, is it really?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We don't know, and those people are absolutely crazy.
I know.
So
I guess, but like that to me just feels a lot like weapons of mass destruction.
I hate it that we're over there. I really do. I wish we didn't have to be. I think Trump's the first president that's had the nerve to go over there and actually do something. But unfortunately, people hate him so much. We've pretty much lost the midterms as conservatives, I believe, because of this.
See, I still think it's salvageable. I pray that it is. If this was to end in a couple weeks, I think it's absolutely salvageable. I think that we need to get some more domestic wins, but it's like the only real domestic win that we've had was the big beautiful bill, which I mean it had its pork in there, which is fine. It's the cost of doing business. But we had some tax cuts, but everything else is been done via executive order. And if we lose power and the Democrats were to retake the White House in 2028, everything's going to be undone with the strike of a pen. And I mean, like if we're dealing in hypotheticals, Japan recovered pretty good from a nuclear weapon. Detroit has never recovered from Democrats.
True, but I truly believe that people hate him so much, and the people who did vote for him because they were on the fence are off the fence, I think, at this point. And I think this is what everybody's going to remember when they go to vote. And I'm afraid, I hate to say it, that the Democrats are going to get back in power and our country is gone.
I mean, they might. They might. I hope not. And I think that the Voters' Rights Act being struck down by the Supreme Court will absolutely help us, because we're going to eliminate some of these minority-majority districts where Democrats are getting their seats. We're seeing that in Louisiana. We're seeing that maybe even here in Tennessee. Florida's adding 4 more seats. Like this stuff is going to help us. Make no mistake about it. I just wonder if it's too far gone at this point. Wayne on line 3 wants to talk about Iran. What's up, Wayne?
Not a whole lot. I appreciate taking the call. I enjoy listening to every one of y'all's sessions as much as I can. Look, as far as Iran goes, we've been fighting them as long as everybody else has been fighting them as long as I can remember. No, they shouldn't have a nuke weapon because they're a loose cannon. You don't know when Iran's going to use it or when they're not going to use it. They want to control that region. And I just feel like, hey, let's just go ahead and do away with them. Let's just get it over with, be done. Let's get the oil rolling again, bring the gas prices down. Trump's done it once.
Well, I think this
I believe he can do it again.
But I think this is why, like, we could probably do this, and I appreciate the call, Wayne. I think this is why we could do this without going full bore, boots on the ground, and continuing the conflict. In the first term, Trump hit them with so many sanctions that they weren't able to do anything. It wasn't until Biden got in and loosened all those sanctions. With the destruction that they've done of the military, let's just figure out a deal. Let's cut bait. Let's get out of there. Let's reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and then let's move on. Let's have heavy sanctions on them, and let's hold them in place and get back to business here in America. I don't know. Maybe people don't like that idea. Elijah, what do you got?
So, okay, I just want to mention the fact that I am in the demographic that the conservative movement needs. I've always been more right-leaning. I go to an Orthodox church every week. I go to college, and I know this is kind of shaky, but I wanted to just say that this war, you are correct in the fact that this war is completely unpopular within our demographic, within many demographics, especially in the conservative movement. I just feel like we are so tired of hearing this lie, this blatant lie that's being produced as truth that, for years we've been told, leading up to the Trump campaign in 2024, it was all on affordability, on no new wars, and going back even the government clearance visibility through the Epstein files. I just want to go back to that earlier call where that guy's like, well, are we really going to sacrifice Savannah, Georgia being a hole in the ground? Let's just get this straight in the fact that there is no concurrent evidence or clear evidence that Iran has or was even capable of producing a nuclear weapon capable of mass destruction at all. The only people who have told that is Israel. And the only notice that the only country in this conflict that has stolen our nuclear capabilities, that has produced their own nuclear program, funny enough, through our enrichment, is Israel. That is the only intelligence that we're getting out of this. And they have been trying to make us go into a conflict with Iran forever. And I just want to say, Chris Hand, I love your work. I love what you do. I love the show, man. You and the entire team at Super Talk have inspired me to get into radio. In fact, I'm going to college for it. So Thankfully one day I'll get to do what you do.
I mean, here's the thing that I would say. It's like, I get where you're coming from with the Israel stuff. I think a lot of people are Israel obsessed in a lot of this conversation. Yeah. And I think that I think we could push back on some of the narrative. I mean, even liberal outlets like 60 Minutes acknowledge the amount of enriched uranium that Iran had. Then we saw a missile strike. 2 missiles were launched at Diego Garcia. okay, which is 4,000 kilometers away from Iran, which was double the length of a missile that they could have launched publicly known before. We knew that there were Iranians in Venezuela. So a lot of people wonder if that's one of the reasons we went at Venezuela before we went at Iran. Is there capability there? Perhaps. Does the president have more information than you or I? Absolutely. Do I think that he would?
I'd like to say, I'm sorry, man, but one thing I'd like to say though is that if it's something of this magnitude, we always like to bring up, oh, well, maybe they know more about us. Maybe when it comes time to where it's affecting our lives here domestically, I feel like there needs to be more transparency. We need to see the actual evidence as to them having these capabilities.
I think that's fair. I think calling for more transparency there is absolutely fair. I would just say to your comments, it's like, do you think that we're only relying on Israel for intelligence in this situation?
Absolutely. I don't really believe that they're
absolutely. Yeah. Even with the Five Eyes network, you think that we would only we're only taking the intelligence from one nation there? When we have allies in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait. I mean, we have all of these other Middle Eastern countries that are also asking us to go at them, like playing devil's advocate. I do think that a lot of this conversation has become Israel obsessed. Do I think that Israel would be happy for us taking out Iran? Like, yes, absolutely. I think that there's definitely some benefit to them, and I understand why they would want that. But to say that I don't agree with the fact that we are only relying on Israeli intelligence. I think that might factor into it, but I don't think it's the only thing.
Out of all these big eyes that play into it, there's an even bigger eye that plays. The CIA and the Mossad have in the historical, I'll take it from the words of former whistleblower John Kiriakou. There is nobody in the CIA that trusts anything of what Mossad says. Nobody. Mossad
but who does the CIA answer to?
CIA answers. I mean, but
that kind of just blows a hole in your argument. If the CIA doesn't trust the Mossad, right? We got John Ratcliffe in there, appointed by President Trump, who answers to President Trump. If they don't trust the Mossad, then why wouldn't they scrutinize their intelligence?
Well, I mean, they did steal our enrichment. They are all the time stealing a lot of information that we get here. They want that 1% of the military intelligence that we won't give them. We give them almost everything. But yet their intelligence, they're constantly known for sending in spy material inside of the CIA headquarters. They're constantly known for having to uncover Mossad agents within the U.S.
But my pushback on that would be do you think we don't have CIA assets inside the Mossad?
We probably, do
you know what I mean? And do you think we don't have CIA assets inside the MI5? Do you think there aren't MI5 guys inside the CIA? That's how the spy game works.
I
get where you're coming from, and I get a lot of the online conversation does super focus on Israel, but if we take a step back and we actually analyze the game, it's I just don't see it the same way a lot of people do. And I understand, and we can agree to disagree on that fact. I'm just saying, I think it's just everybody's just more mad at that fact and more critical of everything due to just, everybody has an opinion on this rule. Nobody, it can cloud our judgment. Nobody really cares about Iran or the Strait of Hormuz whenever it comes to them going to the gas pump. That's most issues in politics.
Yeah,
it really doesn't make a difference to me until it affects my pocketbook. And most Americans aren't paying attention.
I think we can agree to disagree on this thing. Thank you, Chris.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in, man, and good luck with everything you're working on. It's 3:55 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
for many of you, and I know because I talk to you, and I'm one of you, you do everything right. You feel like you're exercising enough. You feel like you're eating right, but you get to a certain age where you just can't get it off in certain areas. You just can't get it done. Allow the modern technology, the red light therapy that is Contours, to give you that boost, that assist. You do those things that you're doing in your daily life. Let Contours do their thing with their ultra slim body contouring, and together you're going to achieve that level of happiness, and that happiness, it cannot be replicated. Once you get to that body, that look that you're looking for, once you lose those inches that you wanted to lose in your love handles, in your chest area, wherever it might be, I'm telling you, folks, look in the mirror and you'll love what you see when you get to Contours LLC. They also do facials that are revitalizing. The red light therapy will tighten your skin and restore your natural glow for both men and women. Red light therapy works, and I'm a testimony to it because I'm going through a session right now, just left earlier today, as a matter of fact. So for $99, you can get that Belly Buster special. Call today at Contours LLC, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960, ContoursLLC.com. What do you have to lose but inches? Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Let's talk for a moment about upcoming special events like Mother's Day. That's right. Mother's Day, believe it or not, right around the corner. And if you've not planned something for Mom this year, I've got a way for you to hit that home run that you've never hit before. Give her something incredibly memorable, meaningful, and timeless at Genesis Diamonds. Truly show Mom how much she is appreciated with a beautiful piece of jewelry from Genesis. Genesis Diamonds. Imagine her face lighting up when she opens a dazzling diamond bracelet, a pair of sparkling earrings, a stunning colored gemstone pendant. Available at Genesis Diamonds, and they have the gifts that make a statement. They have brand new creations from their exclusive designers. Plus, an easy way to show how much you love her is the brand new half-price vault. You pay half the price, and she gets all of the beautiful, exquisite jewelry. That collection is at an incredible 50% off, half price for Mother's Day. So this Mother's Day, give her more than just a casual gift. Give her a memory that she will wear close to her heart every single day. From Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs. Join us at either location, and be sure to tell Genesis that Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Genesis Diamonds online, genesisdiamonds.com.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. At about 78 miles west of Nashville, there's a manhunt underway. It's a big one. This is in Stewart County, where police say a man shot his wife and then took off into some woods this morning around 1:30. Deputies say the suspect they're looking for is Craig Berry. He was last seen there on Old Paris Highway. Operation Epic Fury. Here's what President Trump said today about the latest offer of peace from Iran.
So they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we'll see what happens. Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it.
So this 60-day deadline under the 1973 War Powers Resolution is passed, and despite the bipartisan concerns of lawmakers, President Trump told reporters today he will not be seeking congressional authorization for the Iran war. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy with more.
This formal 60-day notification to Congress is in keeping with the War Powers Resolution. Citing the ongoing ceasefire, the letter from the president says hostilities with Iran have, quote, terminated. That language comes right out of the law, which says the president must terminate any use of the military after 60 days of a conflict unless Congress votes to authorize force. Despite the letter, which carries his signature, President Trump tells reporters he believes the 1973 law is unconstitutional, and he won't ask Congress to authorize the war.
Back here in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4 Investigates says records show Nashville School Superintendent Dr. Adrian Battle charged nearly $20,000 in travel expenses, including upscale hotels and high-end meals, to her district credit card, taxpayer money. Her travel spending significantly outpaced neighboring districts, drawing criticism from parents and education experts. Here's Channel 4's Jeremy Finley.
Those receipts show she often didn't travel alone, bringing staff, spending more than $4,600 on dinners. And some of those dinners got pricey. For example, at Ocean Prime in Washington, D.C., ordering sea bass entrees and a New York strip. The bill ended up at $711.24 for Battle and staff.
Channel 4 says its examination of Battle's spending follows a $6.5 million lawsuit the school district agreed to resolve that was based on 5 former administrators and employees who alleged retaliation and discrimination, and Dr. Battle's decision to spend $165,000 to remodel her office with a private bathroom. As for spending on the credit card, the district responded to Channel 4 that the travel supports leadership development, strategic relationships, and brings value back to metro schools. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. BNA got a crash, 40 westbound at Briley Parkway. Smyrna, a crash, blocking the left lane, 24 eastbound past Almaville Road. Antioch, a crash, Antioch Pike at Harding Place. Bordeaux, this is an injury crash, Clarksville Pike just west of Buena Vista Pike. Over by the zoo, we've got a crash, Elysian Fields Road at Coventry Court. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, hello, hello. I think this is episode 3 of me filling in for Matt Murphy. Right?
Way more.
I think this is the third time I've ever done it. Episode 3.
You did a whole week with me when he...
Episode 7.
Maybe.
Early voting is underway for Nincompoops in the News. I'm trying to win that trophy.
I don't think we passed the charter to allow early voting.
I negotiated it all, Ken.
I told Murphy he can't go into executive session on his own.
He did.
We'll have to put that in a summer study.
He did. I made him a deal that he couldn't turn down. An offer that he couldn't refuse.
You sent him a picture of a horse's head.
He said, that's fine. Early voting's allowed. I'm up to 7.
Son of a biscuit eater.
I'm jumping out to an early lead, 7-0. So thank you for your early votes. Vote often. Vote early. We're going to move off the Iran stuff. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing that bores me more than the Iran conversation.
It's just kind of the same thing every day.
It feels like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Side note, if you find me on Instagram, at Chris Hand on Air, I will send you the funniest Instagram reel that you have ever seen. I sent it to Matt Murphy the other day because I know how much he loves Groundhog Day. These guys did Groundhog's Day, but if it happened on 9/11. And it is hilarious.
Wow.
I can't play it on the air. The guys are like panicking. They're like, this is crazy. This is crazy. He's like, yeah, I usually don't panic until the second plane hits. They're like, what are you talking about? Whoa! It's too funny. It's too funny. Too many curse words to play on the air.
Yeah.
At Chris Hand on Instagram. I'm going to send it to you, Ken.
Brother Jackson would be busy if we played that on the air.
I'm telling you. It's funny.
All right, send it to me.
I will. All right, so there's a lot to get to. I do want to talk about the Voting Rights Act. Also, real quick, did you hear what's going on at the Daily Wire?
No.
Massive layoffs at the Nashville offices today. Yep. Barrett Media has a write-up. Round of layoffs is underway at the Daily Wire. Barrett Media has confirmed. The first report surfaced on Friday afternoon. Political reporter Cameron Arcan took to social media to share that he was included in the round of layoffs enacted. In a statement, the Daily Wire confirmed it was undergoing a round of layoffs. This is their statement. Today, the Daily Wire made a difficult decision to restructure the organization, which included layoffs to a number of teams, a company spokesperson confirmed. We are deeply grateful to those impacted. Their contributions were instrumental in building the Daily Wire into what it is today. The cuts were largely concentrated at our Nashville production office. As the company has invested in new formats, locations, and production models, our footprint there has evolved. Over the last year, we've added production staff in D.C., the Northeast, and Florida. This step allows us to focus our resources on an ambitious slate of new entertainment projects set to release this year. Additionally, we will continue to invest in our editorial team and investigative journalism, where we have already added numerous new reporters across the country and established a D.C. bureau with a seat in the White House briefing room. Is it bad that a conservative company is mismanaging it this badly, where they have to go through a round of layoffs? And also, do we want entertainment from the Daily Wire? Honestly, there's some good stuff on the Daily Wire. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Matt Walsh fan. I love Michael Knowles. Ben Shapiro, listen, I agree with like a lot of what he says, but he's not really my style. And nothing against him personally. I just don't enjoy the show. And then Andrew Klavan, he only does like what? Once a week? 2 times a week? How much overhead do they have? And why are they investing in all these entertainment projects that nobody really has any interest in? That company's being really mismanaged, and it's terrible. Well, just say a prayer for the guys that have been let go. Hope that they find work soon. I would offer them a job here, but we're also going bankrupt. So sorry. We have our own problems here at Cumulus Broadcasting, which I think we're getting figured out. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not as many problems as the Democrats currently. The Voting Rights Act. Do you like that radio segue? Oh, smooth. The Voting Rights Act was struck down by the Supreme Court. It was Louisiana versus Calais. The minority-majority districts, unconstitutional. It's racist, actually. But, as always, I turn to The View for my news and my reaction first. That's where I go.
The View.
Where do you go? Is it just me? You know that The View is actually under the news umbrella of ABC, right?
Yes, it is.
It's not under the entertainment umbrella. It is actually under the news umbrella.
Yeah.
So I go to them for news. And I had to see what my gals are saying.
Your gals.
What? I needed to get my gal's opinion before I got a read on the situation. And I didn't realize how bad it was, you guys. It's a lot worse than I originally thought.
Alito argued that the vast social change has occurred throughout the country, and particularly in the South, indicating that racism no longer exists in this country. I can tell you, as a black woman, that my father was born in 1949. He remembers segregated schools. He remembers segregated water fountains. He remembers that he did not have full civil rights, and
Democrats, Democrats, Democrats.
He told me when I turned 40 years old that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And he is still alive today, and I am still alive today, and I have been discriminated against. And now I have to tell my children that they have less civil rights than I did when I was born.
That's true.
That is disgusting, despicable, and I am devastated by this particular Supreme Court decision, even though, Whoopi, we did know this was coming.
What about, wait a second, what about Clarence Thomas? Didn't he stick up for his own bill?
He did not.
He did not.
No.
And
He
by
was
the
part
way-
of the majority here.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Not Clarence Thomas. Go ahead and call him it. I know you want to. You want to call him a rigger. He rigged the elections. He's a rigger. He's a House rigger. That's what The View wants to call Clarence Thomas. Everybody knows it. Also, Sunny Hostin, just so everybody's clear, she makes between $1.5 and $2 million per year as a co-host on The View. My rights are taken away. My children's, what rights have been removed? Can anybody tell me what rights black voters have lost since the Supreme Court decision came down? Are they not allowed to vote anymore? Are we bringing back the jelly beans? Does anybody have any idea? No, there's no rights. No rights have been taken. Weird how that happens. Fun fact, the Democrat Party, the Dixiecrats, they were the political force behind Jim Crow. You got to know your history. Segregated schools, segregated water fountains, buses, public facilities. Democrats, 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 Democrats. But the Republicans are the evil racist party. The suppression of black voting rights, Democrats. This is just facts. This is facts. By the way, the FCC is currently under investigation by, The View is currently under investigation by the FCC because of the news umbrella that they sit under. This goes back to the James Tallarico Texas Senate interview that they had, where there were questions about whether other candidates were given similar opportunities. They were mad. The Jasmine Crockett campaign was mad that James Tallarico got all this time on The View and she didn't get equal time. Did anybody scream racism then? Is that also racism? Brendan Carr from the FCC on The View.
We have an investigation going on right now into The View, and we've raised serious questions with them. They are asserting that The View is what the statute calls a bona fide news program. And if you're a bona fide news program under the law, you actually don't have to comply with the equal time requirement. So they're asserting that they're bona fide news, just like, I don't know, Meet the Press used to be or something like that. There's obviously questions have been raised about whether they are in fact bona fide news, and we've asked them to file a petition at the FCC to try to get some clarification on that, and we'll see where that goes. But I think if...
You think that's gaslighting, though? There's no way anyone thinks The View is bona fide news.
I think there's a lot of questions that have been raised about that.
I think it's news. That's where I go. It's like the number one source. And I've confirmed this with Dan and Matt. That's where we all go for our news. It's The View. It's bona fide news. They're calling this all racism. They're just evil, dastardly Republicans. They're at it again. How could this happen? Jamie Raskin is also reacting to this in real time. Jamie Raskin, he also believes that this has to be racism. He said that this is targeted against black individuals. He called the SCOTUS decision ending race-based congressional districts a targeted hit by the Roberts Court on those majority African-American districts in southern states. But I think it's important to point out, conservatives vote for black candidates all the time. In fact, there hasn't been a black Republican governor since Reconstruction. That's the point a lot of people will make. But we tried to vote for one in the Commonwealth of Virginia, Winsome Earl Sears. Instead, they voted in a white lady who then gerrymandered the maps. They're still dealing with that in court. Byron Donalds is currently the favorite for governor in Florida. I don't know if you knew this. Maybe I'm telling you for the first time. Byron Donalds is black. He also currently serves in Congress. Wesley Hunt, another Republican. I don't know if you know this. Black. Currently, we have about 60 representatives that are black in Congress, which represents right around 13% of Congress. So what's the issue with representation? There is none. There is none. And they'll say that this is racism. They'll scream that how could they do this against the black community? But when you look at the plain numbers, even CNN admitted this yesterday, Donald Trump is still gaining support with the black community.
What we're seeing right now in the numbers is President Trump and the Republican Party are chipping away at the long-term advantage that Democrats have had with black voters, with African Americans. You can see it right here. Look, Trump's approval among African Americans at this point in term one, he was at 12%. You know, he's been losing ground with a lot of people. He's gaining ground with African Americans. He's up to 16% at this point. And you say, this isn't that big of a shift. But I will tell you, Republicans absolutely love this shift that's going on because Democrats have had such a long-term advantage. The fact that he's actually gaining ground versus where he was in term number one, this has major implications for elections down the line because Democrats, especially in a lot of these tight races, you talk about places like Georgia, right down in the South, you see this type of movement for Trump actually gaining ground. This could have major ramifications and help put Republicans over the top in a number of southern places in the midterm election.
I mean, I do worry a lot about midterms, and a lot of the worry is because of the conflict in Iran and turning off the independents and the moderates. But with this Voting Rights Act stuff coming down, we could still be in good shape. With Republicans adding potentially 4 more seats in Florida, and another seat in Louisiana. You see Arkansas, Georgia, they're having pressure mounted on them. Alabama, pressure is being mounted for them to redraw their maps. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry just suspended the primaries in his state so that way they can redistrict before the 2026 midterms. That could actually add 2 seats. My mistake. I think I said 1 a second ago. That could add 2 seats. And in Tennessee, they're already calling for a special session here. No word on if it's going to happen or not yet, but people are making some noise.
Well, Senator Marsha Blackburn recently suggested that Tennessee should redraw its map before the midterms in response to multiple Democrat states gerrymandering their maps. President Trump said with Lee's help, Republicans will prevent radical left Democrats from taking control of Congress and obstructing his agenda.
Chicken-eating Steve Cohen responded to these calls for redistricting in Tennessee. He would be the one that would be out of a job. I'll bring you his comments when we get back. It's 421. Chris Hand in for Matt Murphy on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Let's talk about your personal safety for a moment. You know, Brink Fiddler comes on from time to time. We talk about the safety in America of the general population and what to do to make sure that you understand what to do in the case of a negative situation coming your way. Brink's never here to scare you. And when you go through the process with Defense Systems, and I've been through his program on several different occasions. I've done the TECC course, and I've also done his standard course that he delivers for churches and schools and, various business locations. Defense Systems is not here to frighten you, and they're not going to frighten your staff, but they are here to make you aware that we live in a dangerous world, and workplace violence situations happen. Active shooter situations happen. Emergency plans need to be in place. Intruder plans need to be in place at your place of business. What do you do in the event that something like this happens to you? Now, the possibility is very, very low, but it's not zero. That's why hope is never a plan. It is time to get trained, friends, with Defense Systems. If you're a decision maker at a school, at a church, at a place of business, you owe it to yourself and your staff to contact Brink Fiddler and Defense Systems. Call them at 615-236-6484, 236-6484, or online at defensesystems.com, defensesystems.com. This is customized to your facility, and it can be a lifesaver. It's certainly a game changer. Defense Systems.
Got a massive manhunt west of Nashville after a man shot his wife. We got that and more stories coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Those headlines on the way in less than 3 minutes with Ken Weaver. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy this afternoon. You can find me on all the social media platforms that matter at Chris Hand on air. I'll send you some funny memes if you hit the follow button. Appreciate you doing so. You can listen to the show anywhere on all the apps, the FM dial. We're also up on YouTube and Rumble. We've been talking about the Voting Rights Act. There are calls for Tennessee to have a special session. A lot of people are pretty excited about it. And one representative said that we're going to be doing it soon. Then he kind of clarified and said, maybe, hopefully, maybe. Steve Cohen, though, weighed in on CNN when it comes to the fact that he may be redistricted out of Memphis.
I guess now the man in the center of that bullseye, Tennessee's only Democratic congressman, Steve Cohen. Congressman Cohen, President Trump posted today that he had a very good conversation with Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee this morning, wherein he stated that he would work hard to correct the unconstitutional flaw, unquote, in the Tennessee map, and that, quote, likewise, other political representatives of Tennessee have promised to do so. This should give us one extra seat, unquote. That's your seat. What's your reaction?
My reaction is pretty cool. Sounds pretty good. Cool. That's not even. It's not a COOL. That's a KEWL. Cool. Even if it doesn't happen, he's going to have an uphill battle. Justin Pearson wants his seat. I've talked to some Democrats. I don't often talk to them, but when I do, they'll tell me that Democrats don't like Justin Pearson at all, and that he would have a tough time going up against Cohen. Maybe not. I don't know. I was under the impression that old white men were the last thing the Democrat Party wanted anymore. So I would think Justin Pearson would win. Also in Memphis, there's a potential that you could have a lot of black voters coming around to the idea of Republicans anyway because of the Memphis Safe Task Force. You know, it's underrated being able to let your kids ride around the neighborhood on their bike after dark. You know, it's actually kind of comforting when you're not worried about being carjacked at the gas station. It's actually pretty cool when kids that have been missing are being found. None of that is happening because of Steve Cohen. It's happening because of the Republicans in control, but let's listen to Steve. You worried? What's your reaction, Mr. Cohen?
Well, I think there was a shame that the Voting Rights Act Section 2 was overruled, basically. They said they didn't, but they gutted it, the Supreme Court. And they don't understand what's going on in politics. They were saying that we don't need this anymore because more African Americans registered to vote and participated in voting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's still a lot of discrimination against African American candidates, African American constituencies. The Voting Rights Act says if you can form a majority-minority district, you do that so that the minority population has the votes to elect a candidate of their own choice. And they chose Harold Ford Sr. in 1974, and then his son Harold Ford Jr. in 1996, and I was thankfully elected in 2006. Since that time, I've had 9 re-elects. In my 9 re-elects, we've had 80% African American votes in the primaries.
Do we think that we're not going to have African Americans voting anymore because of this? Like, is that the sell? We had 80% African American votes in my primaries. Is that no longer going to happen? Do they lose their right to vote? Like, no, it's not happening at all. They'll scream racism, but that's not the case at all. In fact, the Voting Rights Act was put in because of what the Democrats did in the Deep South years and years ago. And these things are not there anymore. There's no more jelly bean counting. There's no more voter intimidation. The vote will still be able to be cast as it was in the primary past. So Steve Cohen's nervous, and you can see it written all over him. He kind of knows what time it is, and I hope that the Republicans go as hard as humanly possible because we've seen the energy from the Democrat side, and I hope that we match it here in Tennessee. 431 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Got the full forecast, traffic updates in 5 minutes, and right now about 78 miles west of Nashville, law enforcement officials conducting a manhunt. This is in Stewart County. Authorities say Craig Berry is wanted after allegedly shooting his wife and running into the woods near Old Paris Highway. He was last seen around 1:30 this morning. They're still searching. Operation Epic Fury. Before leaving the White House for Florida, President Trump told reporters he's not satisfied with the latest peace proposal from Iran.
So they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we'll see what happens. Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it.
Then he told reporters he was hesitant to attack Iran again.
On a human basis, I prefer not, but that's the option. Do we want to go in there heavy and just blast them away, or do we want to do something?
Mr. Trump described the current leadership in Iran as disjointed. He added it makes negotiating difficult. Here in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4 Investigate says it obtained records that show Metro School Superintendent Dr. Adrian Battle spent nearly $20,000 in taxpayer money on travel, hotels, and meals over the past 2 years. The total includes stays at luxury hotels and expensive group dinners, raising concern among parents and watchdogs. This comes on the heels of Metro schools settling discrimination lawsuits for $6.5 million. Then Dr. Battle's $165,000 office remodel with a private bathroom. NMPS says the travel helps the superintendent represent the district nationally and brings back strategies that benefit students and staff. Facebook reportedly threatening to shut down its platforms in New Mexico after a jury in Santa Fe found it liable for misleading users about the safety of the platform for children.
That is not going to actually satisfy or solve their long-term problem.
That's Raul Torres. He is New Mexico's Attorney General.
There are 42 or 43 other AGs across America who have similar claims.
So a trial starts Monday in New Mexico to determine whether Facebook and Instagram are public nuisance. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Metro Center got a crash 65 northbound at Rosa Parks Boulevard. Over on the South Loop, 65 northbound at 40. Bordeaux, this is an injury crash. Clarksville Pike west of Buena Vista. Then an East Nashville injury wreck, South 4th Street northbound just north of Shelby Avenue. Complete stop-and-go brake tapping. Eastbound 440 over to 24. Then that continues on eastbound at 24 from 440. I'm Ken Weaver.
with Mark over at Nashville Safe House a few weeks ago, and we were both admittedly kind of giggling a little bit about the fellows that have 3 or 4 safes in the corner of their store, and they say, oh, we're a safe store. No, you're not really a safe store. You know what you are? I mean, you might be a lot of things, but a safe store, perhaps not. You know what Nashville Safe House is? They're a safe shop. It's what they do. Safes and vault doors and tornado shelters and biometrics, and that's about it. And they've been doing it for 34 years the right way. The first thing that Mark recognized is he wants to have the safe for you in stock, which is why he has the amount of inventory he does. 200 safes on the showroom floor, another 400 or thereabouts in the warehouse. He has more safes at his disposal than every other safe company in the state of Tennessee combined. I'd put him against it. Friends, come and find Browning, Fort Knox, Superior, Champion, Rhino, all the brand names that you know and love, and the one that you want is likely in stock at Nashville Safe House. Go by and see them, 4th Avenue South, online at NashvilleSafeHouse.com, NashvilleSafeHouse.com, across from City Cemetery. Tell them Murphy sent you to Nashville Safe House.
Divide the country into electoral districts based on racial lines. He goes on to say blacks were drawn into black districts, given black representatives, Hispanics drawn into Hispanic districts, given Hispanic representatives. And here's what he said. He said that is repugnant to any nation that strives for the ideal of a colorblind constitution. We should all be against the balkanization of society, putting black people here and white people here and Hispanic people here, and the absolutely nonsensical, hyperbolic Democrats that we just played that said Jim Crow, Jim Crow, Jim Crow. They are naively advocating for the very thing they are giving lip service to be against. And take that not from me, but from the second ever black justice on the Supreme Court, Justice Thomas, who said there is no place for this. It is repugnant.
That was Kayleigh McEnany. My name is Chris Hand. It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm filling in for Matt Murphy today. Excited to be doing so. So we do have a lot of movement when it comes to the redistricting wars. It's been a battle. It looks like the Republicans could come out on top, especially after the Voting Rights Act Section 2 struck down. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry has suspended the U.S. House primaries in his state so that way they can redistrict before the 2026 midterms so they could add 2 more seats. Alabama is now moving to get a new congressional map drawn by asking the Supreme Court to step in following the anti-racial gerrymandering rule. Alabama has districts that are just absolutely racially drawn. And there's pressure surging in Georgia and South Carolina for them to stop playing games as well. A lot of people want Tennessee to stop playing games. I do have some people that I've texted and I've asked questions. When are we going to get a special session? And this is, I mean, it's fresh. Like during the commercial break, I'm sending texts. And I got a guy that I think he knows what he's talking about. And I got one word answer. I texted, I said, when's the special session? The word I got back was soon. Soon. So I said, announcement tonight? Question mark? Probably. That's why Chicken Eating Cohen is so shook. Hakeem Jeffries is also very, very upset. He's been upset. Hakeem, the American Dream, Hakeem, he was losing his mind yesterday. I played some of this on my show yesterday. I think it's worth playing again. He's very upset. Very upset. He's screaming racism because, I mean, that's all that they can do. These guys are wounded animals. They have nothing else to stand on except for the old talking points from the Democrat Party. So Hakeem Jeffries declared that the anti-racial gerrymandering ruling has made the Supreme Court illegitimate. I mean, these are his words. The Supreme Court is now illegitimate. Okay. But you were for it when, they were ruling in your favor. But once they rule against you, they're illegitimate. This is Hakeem Jeffries.
This decision by this illegitimate Supreme Court majority strikes a blow against the Voting Rights Act and is designed to undermine the ability of communities of color all across this country to elect their candidate of choice. But we're not here to step back. We're here to fight back.
Stunning and brave.
Now, when this decision came out earlier today, it's an unacceptable decision, but not an unexpected decision, because this isn't even really the Roberts Court. It's the Trump Court.
Yes.
You don't have to sell me on it. I already liked it. Minus Amy Coney Barrett every now and again, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. It's been pretty good.
And what we would expect from the Trump court is an effort to continue their scheme to suppress the vote and rig the midterm elections and beyond.
Whose vote is being suppressed? Like, again, this is one of the biggest. The votes, they're going to suppress who is being suppressed? Who could vote in the last election that will not be allowed to vote in this election? Can anybody make sense of that? Who was able to vote, but now can't vote? Does anybody have a good answer for that question?
Because these extremists have failed America in every possible way. They failed on the economy. They failed on health care. They're failing as it relates to this reckless and costly war of choice. The extremists have completely and totally failed America. That's right. So they've concluded, aided and abetted by the Trump court, that they have to cheat to win.
Yes.
But the reality of our experience, our journey, now more than 400 years, is that we view a setback, and this is one, but we view setbacks as nothing more than a setup for a comeback.
Ooh, nailed it. Channeling his inner Tim Tebow. Can't have a comeback without a setback, baby. Got to do it. It's like, I mean, this is like the kind of stuff I say to my 6 and 8-year-old boys to pump them up. This is not reality that we're getting from Hakeem Jeffries. He's upset because he lost. He should be upset. I mean, I get it. I think you'd be upset too if you knew that a seat that was going to be guaranteed Democrat is now going to be fairly contested. And everybody that could vote in the last election is going to be able to vote in this election. Hakeem Jeffries he was very upset.
Toward a more perfect union. And now we're at a point where affirmative action is gone, diversity is gone, equity gone, inclusion gone, racial tolerance gone, the Voting Rights Act largely gone. But guess what, extremists? We're still here.
Well, I mean, until the primaries, right? Not for long. Not for long. I do love the energy from the Republicans. We got to fight as hard as humanly possible here. Donald Trump heard these comments from Hakeem Jeffries. He reacted to it inside the Oval Office yesterday, and he said, it's very dangerous statements. And to be fair, the president's right when he says this. Listen to this.
I heard Hakeem Jeffries, a low IQ person. He's a very low IQ, screaming today that the Supreme Court is illegitimate. I mean, that's a dangerous statement. Then if I say something modest, they say, oh, he's a king, he's a king. They're sick. But Hakeem Jeffries said the Supreme Court is illegitimate. That's a rough statement. If I made that statement, it would be the biggest story out there. Bad things would happen.
I mean, it's gonna make crazy people do crazy things. We've seen what's happened with the Supreme Court leaks. I mean, wasn't the guy who showed up to Kavanaugh's house ready to kill him? I mean, is that going to happen to Clarence Thomas? Is that going to happen to Alito? Are people going to lose their ever-loving minds because they think mud democracy is gone forever? Maybe, perhaps. But this is the right move. The need for the Voting Rights Act, it's not there anymore. It's not. 615-737-9986. Go to Deb on the phone. What's up, Deb? How are you?
Hey, Chris. Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. What do you got?
First off, can I vocalize my vote? I'm voting for you.
Thank you. Early voting is underway for Nincompoops in the News. I'm up to 23-0-0.
But as far as the redistricting, can we redistrict Ilhan Omar's district so that all the Somalis are split up and can't vote for her anymore?
I would love that. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, the majority minority districts are predominantly in the South. I mean, they're all in southern states, and it's all because of what the Democrats did back in the day with Jim Crow and the actual voter suppression, which Democrats claim is still happening today. But, I mean, you and I can just look at objectively and say it's not happening. I would love it if we could do that, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. Well, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, I'd be a fan. I appreciate the call, Deb. Let's go to Mike in Old Hickory. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, I just want to know when are the guess what? The riots going to start beginning this summer and this fall, because it's going to happen now. Hakeem Jeffries.
Honestly,
Hakeem Jeffries just said it's a call arms.
It wouldn't shock me if we get another summer of love when this is all said and done. I think we would have. I think they wanted
more cops shot, more innocent people shot due to Democrats.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I don't know. I don't want it to happen. I have a hard time believing it won't. I think they actually tried to gin up a winter of love after Renee Nicole Good decided to drive her vehicle at an ICE agent and then got shot. She was late to pick up her kids, okay? She was just a mom. You racist Republicans. It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't at all. And there's a lot of groups that are funding a lot of these protests that would love to gin up that kind of activity during the summer. And then they would be able to say what they did the last time. Look, this is Donald Trump's America. It's chaos. There's chaos in the streets because of Donald Trump. Don't put it past him. Don't put it past him. Leslie, you're next on Super Talk. What's up?
Oh, well, you asked who's not going to be able to vote in the next election.
Yes, ma'am.
Because Hakeem Jeffries is all up in arms. I can tell you who will not be able to vote in the next election: illegal immigrants. And that's probably why he's so tore up.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I would imagine we're still going to have illegal aliens voting in the election unless we get the Save America Act passed. But it seems like Republicans, while we have some good fighters, and we're seeing it displayed with these special sessions that are popping up, Governor Landry in Louisiana has absolutely been a leader on this. There's not a lot of fight when it comes to the Save America Act and Senate Republicans. This is one of the reasons why I'm such a fan of nuking the filibuster. Let's get it to 50 votes. Can we just do that? 50 plus 1. The Democrats would do it in a heartbeat. And they have said that they would do it in a heartbeat. Like, this isn't me, daydreaming about what they might do. This is like their actual statements. Nancy Pelosi is on the record saying day one we'll nuke the filibuster and D.C. and Puerto Rico will be a state. We'll pack the Supreme Court. You think that the Democrats don't want to pack the Supreme Court now? More so than ever. Let's go to Tony. What's up?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good. What do you got?
What I say is now, and I'm going to say this because it's important that I say this, and so you can understand the meaning behind it. I'm a 74-year-old black man, and our greatest enemy among us is black Democrats and a lot of black preachers. It's not white supremacists. People like Hakeem Jeffries, instead of teaching our young people that they are oppressed, he need to teach them how he got where he was at. And Trump said something that people that just went by the wayside, and it's absolutely true. And I've been knowing this for years, growing up as a kid, is that Democrats is the number one enemy of the United States by far. They are the inside trying to destroy this country, and you can see it. And now, let me tell you now, I'm not putting Malcolm X up on a pedestal.
I was waiting for the quote. It was on the tip of my tongue. Tell him, Tony.
Malcolm X warned us in the early 60s about liberals. He said the greatest threat to this country and to black people are liberals. And I wish I could text a video to you and let you listen to it, and you can understand it. They the one who created the welfare. They the one that used welfare to destroy over 7 generations of our family. Still doing it. People ought to know that they're for socialism, because everybody on welfare is living in a socialist state.
You're absolutely right.
And we have to wake up to this stuff. And Democrats, I'm tired. And now I listen to you all the time, but one of the things I hate that you say all the time is that Democrats don't know what they're doing. They need to wake up. They won't, man. They've been doing this for years. They've been playing this.
They know
they've been
exactly
playing
what
this
they're
long
doing.
game. They've been playing this long game for years, and then these rhino Republicans, they are trying to do the same thing to Trump that they did in his first term.
Yep.
But anyway, let me get off the phone. I'm just saying, black folks need to wake up. They need to smell the roses, and all these black Democrats, they in bed with the supremacists.
You're not lying.
Because they're getting paid.
Tony, you're absolutely right. We'll talk about the SPLC in a second, too. But while Tony was on the phone, he's talking about Malcolm X. I was ready to say it, too. This is the quote he was talking about.
That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. That white person that you...
Hey, friends, when you start noticing cracks in the walls or uneven floors, driveways sinking and separating, it's more than just a home issue. It is a peace of mind issue. It is why who you choose for foundation and concrete leveling really does matter. I trust USS. One of the first organizations that I called after buying my home was USS because I wanted them to check out my home, and they did and gave me the thumbs up. Their seal of approval. They've been doing it the right way since 1994, right here in Tennessee. They don't believe in quick fixes or even scare tactics. They take the time to inspect, explain what's going on, walk you through real, proven solutions that are built to last. Whether it's foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not temporary patches. Friends, it's time. You can trust USS. They're local, and they do it the right way. Call them or hit them up online, USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com, and get them out for their free inspection for your property, USSTN.com.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now, about 78 miles west of Nashville, a manhunt underway in Stewart County. This for a man accused of shooting his wife this morning around 1:30. Deputies say Craig Berry ran into some woods near Old Paris Highway when officers arrived. Operation Epic Fury. Before leaving the White House for a trip to Florida, President Trump told reporters he's not satisfied with this latest peace proposal from Iran.
The president says the latest proposal from Tehran has them asking for things he can't accept.
They want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it.
He says Iran's leaders are disjointed.
They're having a tremendous problem getting along with each other.
Amid the ongoing ceasefire, President Trump acknowledged he has been briefed on options for resuming the fight.
I mean, do we want to go and just blast the hell out of them and finish him forever, or do we want to try and make a deal? I mean, those are the options.
Trump says on a human basis he'd prefer the latter. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Now, I got some breaking news here in Tennessee. Channel 4 is reporting that Governor Lee has announced a special session to redraw congressional districts. Also in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4 investigates, says district credit card records show Metro School Superintendent Dr. Adrian Battle spent nearly $20,000 on travel, hotels, and meals over the past 2 years. Channel 4's Jeremy Finley says the total includes stays at luxury hotels and expensive group dinners, raising concern among parents and watchdogs.
Boston, Sevierville, Dallas, Washington, Atlanta, and Tampa, all for conferences, spending more than $12,700 in hotel rooms. Receipts show she spent sometimes $500 a night. She stayed 2 nights at this luxury collection hotel for $858. Her staff booked her at the Waldorf, one of the country's most luxurious hotels. But Metro School says another hotel was found at a lower rate, so it was switched. But because of the Waldorf's peak season cancellation policy, Metro Schools was still billed $602.
Now, so the district has responded. It sent a statement to Channel 4. It says travel supports leadership development, strategic relationships, and brings value back to Metro Schools. Well, Channel 4 says its examination of Dr. Battle's spending follows a $6.5 million settlement of lawsuits claiming Dr. Battle retaliated and discriminated against former employees. Also, that $165,000 office suite remodel that included a private bathroom for her. A popular music streaming service says it's trying to crack down on music generated by AI.
Spotify now says it's going to hand out special verification check marks to artists on the platform, intended to distinguish human-made music from AI-generated content. The company says it's taking into account signifiers of human behavior, like whether the band in question has tour dates or a social media presence. Spotify says it'll be a slow rollout, meaning if you don't see a green check mark next to an artist right now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's AI. Mike Dubosky, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. South Nashville got a crash. 440 eastbound at I-24. On the South Loop, 65 northbound right there at I-40. West Meade, Charlotte Pike at Davidson Drive. Then in Hermitage, 40 westbound past Stewart's Ferry Pike. Madison, a crash blocking the left off-ramp lane. That's 65 southbound off-ramp to Briley Parkway, Ellington Parkway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Seven minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for the one, the only Matt Murphy. I didn't fill in for no reason. I filled in for a crown and a trophy. Nincompoops in the news on the way in a little bit. It's a one-off today. That's it. Winner takes all.
I got a good one.
Early voting is underway.
It's going to stay right here in News Closet B.
Well, I mean, you guys better hope that your walk-ups are there. I'm just letting you know because the early vote is in my favor. Because as of right now, the early vote tallies are 45 Hand, 0 Jackson, 2 Weaver.
My loyal subjects aren't listening yet.
You boys ready for some breaking news?
Yes, sir.
Hit the breaking news sounder. We need the sounder if we're going to do this. For immediate release, May 1st, 2026. I just got this from the redheaded stranger. Governor Lee calls special legislative session to review congressional map. Nashville, Tennessee. Today, Governor Bill Lee announced plans to convene a special legislative session of the Tennessee General Assembly to formally review the state's congressional map following the renewed nationwide action around congressional representation. We owe it to Tennesseans to ensure our congressional districts accurately reflect the will of Tennessee voters, said Governor Lee. After consultation with Lieutenant Governor, Speaker of the House, Attorney General, and Secretary of State, I believe the General Assembly has a responsibility to review the map and ensure it remains fair, legal, and defensible. In order to comply with its mandatory election qualifying timelines and ensure Tennesseans have reflective representation, any change to Tennessee's congressional map must be enacted as soon as possible. The legislative session will begin on Tuesday, May 5th. Get ready, boys. It's happening. Cue the Ron Paul meme. It's happening. Sorry, is that just me? Am I the only one that knows the Ron Paul meme? Do you know? Just me?
What's the Ron Paul meme?
Where his arms are waving and the strobe lights are going and it says it's happening? You don't know that one?
I do not.
You do.
But I do now, Brother Chris.
You guys got to internet more. Just letting you know. Hold on. I can't be the only one that knows the Ron Paul meme.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of our listeners who know it.
Okay. Ken, I'm not mad at Jax. I'm a little disappointed in Ken.
Dude,
this is going to hurt your early vote numbers. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I'm not exactly burning it up with just two early votes.
See? Okay. You just didn't know that was Ron Paul. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. It's happening. Nice for Super Talk TV. All right. So this is big news. Ken, what's your instant reaction on that?
I knew it was happening.
Thanks, Ken.
I kind of figured yesterday, whenever Murphy was interviewing Speaker Cameron Sexton, just the way the speaker was speaking, if you will, I knew it was the decision was either going to come today or over the weekend.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. We're going to have what is it going to be 9-0 in the state?
Yeah.
Murphy was saying that he's not sure the maths on this.
Yeah, he's got some reservations about it.
I still think we got to fight.
And Speaker Sexton said he said those concerns are valid. He said, but there's things to talk through. There's ways to do it.
I'm excited. I mean, one way or the other, we'll see what happens. So special session coming on Tuesday, May 5th. I did reach out to a few representatives to see if they wanted to call into the show and react in real time. We're happy to have any of the state representatives that are in the listening area that want to call in and join the program to talk about this. But it's a big deal, man. So we're not going to just wait. We're going to be proactive. I think, again, we got to give a lot of props to Louisiana here for what they were able to do with the Supreme Court, because without them, none of these dominoes start to fall. Now it's kind of time for other states to step up. Looking at you, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, we need as many Republicans to get in on this as humanly possible, because we have to understand that the Democrats started this. This is a fight that they started many, many moons ago. It didn't start in Texas. It didn't start in California. It's actually started well before that. You look at Massachusetts, where Donald Trump wins 60% of the vote, yet they have 0 Republican representatives. You look at states like, Minnesota, there's barely any Republican representation, but there's plenty of states. Rhode Island, Connecticut, there's a lot of states where we don't get the representation. But in the South, in Massachusetts, Kamala Harris won 60% of the votes. Okay, well, in the South, there are states where Trump wins 60% of the votes, and now we're going to see that he gets all the representation, just like the Democrats do up there. I think this is a good thing, and we'll keep you updated on it as everything comes along. A lot of work to get done in a very short period of time. There's going to be preliminary maps and different counties being broken up into different districts. And we'll see what happens. So I got a text here. Scott Zapicki. Again, Scott Zapicki said, this is going to require a lot of work in a very short period of time. In the preliminary maps I've seen, Maury County being broken up into 3 different districts, and he's not happy with that at all. He said you can quote him on that. We'll see what happens. I'm just happy to see some Republican fight. That's what we want. That's the energy that we need going into the midterms. So we'll keep you updated on this. In the meantime, Donald Trump had a big event today. This was the first event since he had an assassination attempt at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That feels like it was forever ago. Does anybody else feel like that? That the assassination attempt feels like it was months ago, and it was only on Saturday evening. He was asked about it before he headed to the event.
Your first big public event since somebody tried to kill you on Saturday. Do you feel safe going to something like this today?
I don't even think about it, Peter.
I don't even think about it. He was also asked yesterday if he has thought about wearing a bulletproof vest. The president was asked, and he said it's tough for him to wear a bulletproof vest because he would have a hard time looking heavier.
Is there talks about you potentially wearing a bulletproof vest moving forward, given you have now been shot at?
I don't know if I can handle looking 20 pounds heavier. These guys, they look so good. Some of these guys are physical specimens. Some of these guys are trouble. They say, get him away from me. I don't want to be near him. No, if you want to gain 20 to 25 pounds, get a vest. And live, frankly, the vest did an amazing job because it took a bullet close up. And he didn't even want to go to the hospital. I mean, we sent him to the hospital just in case, but he didn't want, still like.
Trump just finished his first event in Florida, indoor event. We'll bring you some of those highlights. He was he did make a case for nuking the filibuster and getting the Save America Act passed. This is something that has to happen, especially before midterm, so that way it can be enacted in time.
Borders will pass the Save America Act to protect our sacred American election. Because all voters must show voter ID, all voters must have proof of citizenship. And there will be no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel. And we will also enshrine in permanent law no men in women's sports. And did you ever hear of something like that? You know, I'm just, as I say it a lot. Can you imagine 15 years ago saying that?
No, I can't. But I could imagine saying it again in 5 years if the Democrats ever regain power. Let's pray that they don't. Donald Trump says one of the only ways that we can get this done is nuking the filibuster. And he actually took some shots yesterday. Like, why wouldn't Republicans want to nuke the filibuster?
With MAGA. MAGA wants you to get rid of it.
They should
Why
do
don't
it.
they do it?
Why don't they do it?
I don't know.
I have no idea. You know why, I guess? Because they have 3 or 4 that are like hardline. The same ones that are hardline, no to everything. And if you don't have all of them, you know, we have a very small majority. John Thune's a good man. I said to him, John, just go take the vote. Let's expose who the people are. But, you know, if we got rid of the filibuster, we could vote on the Save America Act, voter ID. You know, you act so good. I love this.
I mean, I agree with pretty much everything he said there, except for the part where he said John Thune's a good guy. I think John Thune is a rhino. I think John Thune is absolute trash. He's been dragging his feet on this. Remember a couple months ago, he said, we don't have time. Time is a commodity in the Senate, and we just don't have the time for this. Then he said, by the way, let's go do the dog show. We're going to do a dog show outside here in a minute. If you guys want to come, we're going to dress our dogs up in costumes. It's going to be awesome. We have time for dog shows. John Thune lets Democrats bring bills up and get votes on them. They get voted down. But there's time for that. There's not time for the talking filibuster. There's not time to nuke the filibuster, nothing like that. It's infuriating to me. John Thune, I think it's important to remind everybody, was the same guy who, during the primaries in 2024, before Donald Trump was officially the nominee, when he was still refusing to debate, John Thune was out there on TV, and they said, would you support the president? Would you support Mr. Trump if he was the nominee? And he said, well, I hope we have other options. That's John Thune. That he doesn't have any interest in passing President Trump's agenda. And if you want more proof, let's look at what's happened since John Thune has become the majority leader. 2 big cases that really cemented for me was the fact that they were outspent 3-1 in Virginia on their referendum when it came to the redistricting wars. The Republicans only spent $20 million, right? They only spent $20 million. The Democrats spent close to $100 million. I think it was like right around $80 to $100 million on the referendum. Meanwhile, elsewhere, when John Thune's buddy, John Cornyn, who has repeatedly called for mass amnesty and given just a leg up to the dreamers, and we got to help the dreamers, and he releases ads in Spanish so that way all the dreamers can hear about the dreams that they're dreaming. John Cornyn gets $95 million to get over his primary from Ken Paxton, which is probably going to be a losing effort. I think one of the worst things that we have going on right now inside the Republican Party is that the rhinos are controlling the purse strings. And could you imagine what it would look like if we had MAGA first candidates that would match the energy of the Democrat Party and be willing to nuke the filibuster? Could you imagine where we would be right now if we had nuked the filibuster 3 months ago? We'd be so much further down the field, and we'd be codifying the executive orders that President Trump has signed in. But as of right now, the only thing that we've gotten done is the big, beautiful bill. Again, with lots of pork. It could be a 50-year run if Republicans got tough, says President Trump.
Republicans are angry about it. The filibuster should be terminated. If the Democrats ever get a shot, which probably, based on history, sometime they will use it in the first minute of the first hour. And they will execute all of the bad things. 21 justices, you know, they really like 21. I heard 13, but they really want 21 Supreme Court justices. And they really want to have D.C. and Puerto Rico become states. That would mean automatic 4 senators go into the Democrat column. And there's not even a chance that they don't do it and do it immediately. Now, with that knowledge, because you could argue whether it's good or bad, but I don't think it's that much of an argument, frankly. But you could argue, with that knowledge that they're going to do it immediately, why wouldn't you do it as a Republican? Unless you have bad motives almost. But if we did it, we could pass one bill after the other. We could pass laws and acts and things that we never even dreamt of passing. And you know what else? We wouldn't lose for 50 years. You know, if we terminated the filibuster, we would have a 50-year run. You'd stop cheating. I mean, look, they're professional cheats, and they're great at it. That's what they're best at, because you can't get elected with their policy. You can't get elected with men and women's sports, with transgender mutilization of our children, with open borders for jails to be dropped into our country, and mental institutions, and drug dealers and murderers. Think of it, 11,888 murders come into our country. Nobody even talks to them about it, right? We got a lot of them out because of, you know why? Because of ICE, which they don't want to fund. They're defunding our police.
I mean, President Trump is right. If there was some fight in the Republican Party, we could have a 50-year run. But as it stands right now, we're nowhere near that. And I think it's because of ineffective rhinos like John Thune. He shouldn't even be the leader. He shouldn't. It should have been Rick Scott. Everybody knows it. 522, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Fellas, let's talk for a moment. Now, you ladies can listen up, too, because if I describe anything that might relate to your fella, then you might want to nudge him and encourage him to get over to the Tennessee Men's Clinic. It's kind of a direct call to men. If you're feeling wiped out when you wake up, if your waistline is creeping up, bedroom confidence may be slipping. Friends, you feel it, you notice it, she notices it, and now it's time to do something about it. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to accept that this is just the way things are. Tennessee Men's Clinic treated more men in Tennessee for performance-related issues than anyone else, and they have 7 separate clinics across this great state, and many right here in Middle Tennessee, like Cool Springs, like Clarksville, and like Nashville, Tennessee. Friends, this works. The treatment works, but it is unique to you and your situation. Patients are treated like people. You come in, and for less than $100, they take you back. They examine you from tip to stern. They get a little blood work from you. They see what's going on with your testosterone levels or whatever it might be. Friends, I want you to call and book that appointment today. You do not have to live like this, and you can get back in the game, men, with the Tennessee Men's Clinic, 615-208-9090, 615-208-9090, or online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com, TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
And Tennessee is going to have a special legislative session to possibly redraw the state's congressional map. We'll tell you about that more 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Headlines on the way in less than 3 minutes here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy. Early voting underway for nincompoops in the news.
Nope.
I keep getting votes. That's what's Jackson's getting. He's getting a little bit salty. He's getting a little flustered. He knows he's up against it.
Has Matt told you I'm not a good loser?
He told me. He warned me.
Ken knows. That's why he's laughing.
I'm running up the score. We haven't even read stories. So Jackson's getting salty. Also, liberals getting salty. Radio segue gold. So this is what I did. I heard the special session news. That's going to be happening on May 5th. Governor Lee calls a special legislative session to review the congressional map. Fair representation is coming. 9 Republican seats are coming. And you know what I did? I said, let's go see how the Tennessee Hollers handling this. That was my first take, and they didn't disappoint. They did not disappoint. They posted a tweet from Gloria Johnson, affectionately known as Glojo. And Glojo said, "It's official. White power rally at the Tennessee legislature next week, May 5th. Hashtag white supremacy." Okay. Again, tell me what black person will not be able to vote in Tennessee moving forward. Can anybody show me a black person that will not be able to vote in Tennessee? I would like, you know what I would like to do? Remember the caller that we had on a little while ago, Tony, who self-identified as a 74-year-old black man? I would love to see Tony in a room with Gloria Johnson, so that way she could look at Tony and tell him he is a white supremacist. It would be great. I'd be a fan. Gloria Johnson's not happy. Many people aren't happy. Somebody said, let's be honest. This is the new modern Jim Crow era of America. The white Supreme Court said race should not be a part of representation. The white Supreme Court, including Clarence Thomas, wicked white, in case you're keeping score at home. The Jim Crow era of America, it already happened, and it was because of the Democrats, in case you're keeping score at home. They're retweeting all these people that are so upset. And nationwide, Republicans will call this fair while complaining about California and Virginia. Why don't we stop the race top to bottom and pass the anti-gerrymandering bill and stop the partisan crap? You know what's fun? I didn't complain about California. I didn't complain about Virginia. You know what I did complain about? I complained that Republicans don't fight as hard as Democrats. I think those days might be over. Steven on the road wants to talk about elections. Real quick, Steve, what do you got?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm just trying to figure out, man, because with the 4 Republicans that are not doing anything to help this SAVES Act go through, I'm just wondering, and you guys, and I don't know how much you know about it, but Trump and the executive branch is basically in charge of that. There's got to be some type of way he can put a crew together that can figure out a way around that to where they can maybe do it by executive order, where they can, ensure that the election integrity is going to be there if the SAVES Act don't pass at all. Is that possible that they can do that way? Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'll tell you what, I'll look into it during the commercial break. We are up against it. Ken Weaver's in the newsroom, waiting to deliver the headlines right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Got some breaking news now. A federal appeals court has reinstated a nationwide requirement that abortion pills be dispensed in person that ends access through telehealth and the mail. And right now in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee has called a special session of the General Assembly to redraw the state's congressional map, which could result in a 9th Republican majority. The session is set to start on Tuesday. And then 78 miles west of Nashville, Stewart County deputies are searching for a man accused of shooting his wife. Investigators say Craig Berry ran into the woods off Old Paris Highway around 1:30 this morning. And in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4 investigation claims records it obtained show Metro Nashville Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Adrian Battle spent more than $19,000 on travel over the past 2 years, including luxury hotel stays and a dinner bill that topped $700. The spending far exceeds that of other Tennessee superintendents, some of whom reported little to no travel costs in the same time period. The district in Nashville responded that the travel supports leadership development, strategic relationships, and brings value back to Metro schools. Channel 4 says its examination of Dr. Battle's spending follows a $6.5 million settlement of lawsuits that claimed Dr. Battle retaliated and discriminated against former employees. Also, a $165,000 office suite remodel that included a private bathroom for Dr. Battle. And I have late word that there is talk among state lawmakers about launching an audit of Metro Nashville Public Schools. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes 440 eastbound at I-24, 65 southbound past Harding Place, 40 westbound past Stewart's Ferry Pike. Then in Almaville, 840 eastbound at Almaville Road, Laverne, 24 westbound at Waldron Road. Then in Hickman, Fairview, we got 840 eastbound at the Fairview Centerville Highway exit 7. And in Madison, the off-ramp lane blocked 65 southbound to Briley Parkway, Ellington Parkway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy, and I've got a quick question for you. When it comes to your health, would you rather know what's going on inside of your body or just hope that everything is fine? Because a lot of people who feel great have no idea something's happening beneath the surface until much later on. The idea of knowing versus not knowing stuck with me, and that's why I decided to check things out by getting a scan from our friends at Kraft Body Scan. This is quick, it's non-invasive, and walking out, you feel like you have real answers. And right now, Kraft Body Scan is offering our listeners their couples heart and lung scan valued at over $2,500 for just $99. This is an incredible deal. It can give you true peace of mind and an early heads up before symptoms ever show up. Take advantage of this by going to togetherwescan.com or call 615-436-1000 and use promo code MATT50. That's MATT50. This year, don't just hope everything's okay. Know everything's okay. That's togetherwescan.com or 615-436-1000 and promo code MATT50.
37 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Chris Hand filling in for Matt Murphy. We got Ken Weaver in the newsroom. Jackson Williams producing. And you guys on the text line. I've been tallying the early votes. Actually, Ken Weaver, I was actually shocked. Ken got a family of 6 to vote for him.
Yay!
So the early vote tally for Nincompoops in the News goes as such. 72 Hand, 1 Williams, 9 Weaver. I appreciate it. I just hope the walk-ups are there for me as well. I do. And I got one guy, 4543. He didn't vote for either of you. He just texted in, Chris Hand is a prick. So, you know what? In the interest of fairness, I'll give that as a half vote for Williams and a half vote for Weaver. I just wrote back, LOL, thanks for listening.
Oh.
Are we going to do this? You guys ready?
You ready?
Ooh, let's do it, boys. Yes, sir.
Nincompoops in the news.
Matt Murphy does it every day. I'm usually taking the kids to baseball or running to a play practice, and the kids always say, "Can we turn it up, Dad? It's Nincompoops in the news." And then we get to like the first story, and I'm like, "Okay, we have to change this. We have to change this.
You can't hear this.
We have to change this quick." But we usually enjoy the music. So everybody brings a story. The audience votes. We had early voting today. It's a sudden death elimination.
It's a one-off.
It's a one-off. This has never been done in the history of Nincompoops. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. This is historic.
It's for all the marbles. Do I just get to go first?
Ken Weaver, I believe you get to pick the order today.
I do. All right. Well, then it's going to be Weaver. It's going to be Williams. And it's going to be Hand.
All right.
All right.
First of all, look here, boys. Not only do I have the Nincompoops trophy, but I've got the professional wrestling-looking trophy that Dr. Mitch made for the one-hit wonders. What do you boys think about that?
Well, I think you can hang on to the belt a little longer.
They're both staying in here.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This here story's out of Boulder, Colorado. Suspect released from jail immediately steals fire engine. A suspect in Colorado allegedly stole a fire engine immediately after being released from jail. The Boulder Police Department said 33-year-old Richmond Takashi Johnson was arrested on Wednesday for trying to open the doors of cars and homes. He was released from jail around 3:30 in the morning. At the same time, Boulder Fire and Rescue responded to the jail for an unrelated medical call. While the rescue crew was inside the jail booking lobby treating the patient, Johnson hopped in their truck and drove away. Boulder County Sheriff's Office deputies and Boulder police gave chase. They had to use stop sticks to deflate the fire department engine's tires. Johnson lost control of it and he came to a stop, but he hopped out and ran away, only to be caught minutes later. There were no serious injuries, though a deputy sustained a minor injury during the foot pursuit. Boulder Fire Rescue Engine 143 sustained, quote, significant damage. 2 Boulder County Sheriff's Office vehicles sustained significant damage, while a 3rd sheriff's vehicle sustained minor damage. Police said Johnson has an extensive criminal history. Following the chase, he was booked back into jail, and his criminal history has grown even longer. That, my friends, is an nincompoop.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Good showing, Ken. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
I don't know if it's going to be enough to keep the trophy.
All right.
Brother Williams.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Small town Virginia mayor reportedly arrested, allegedly showing up drunk to train derailment.
I've got a true story I can tell you guys about this.
A recently elected mayor of a small town in Virginia was arrested Tuesday after allegedly showing up to a train derailment site while intoxicated, according to local reports. Paul Morrison, the 57-year-old mayor of Rich Creek, Virginia, was taken into custody on a charge of public intox, according to the New River Valley Regional Jail. In a statement to Fox News Digital, Morrison apologized for any inconvenience or embarrassment his actions may have caused. To my family, the first responders, the town employees, town council, and the residents of Rich Creek, I would like to offer apologies for my state and any actions on April the 28th at the railroad incident. He said, I regret any inconvenience as well as embarrassment this may have caused. I am truly sorry to have let you down and can assure you nothing like this will happen again. The train derailment occurred in the afternoon near Rich Creek, which sits along the border of West Virginia and Virginia. The West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection said. The agency added that portions of the incident were reported inside West Virginia and that train belonged to Norfolk Southern Railway. Contaminants of soybean oil had reportedly leaked. Officials confirmed it was considered non-hazardous and that the crews are conducting recovery operations. After the incident, Morrison reportedly showed up intoxicated. The local news reported, citing sources. He was subsequently arrested in the evening at around 8:19 p.m. by deputies at the Giles County Sheriff's Office. Details of what led to the incident and Morrison's arrest are not immediately clear. He was taken to the New River Valley Regional Jail and later released on his own recognizance. He reportedly became mayor in November after a write-in campaign. Only 106 votes cast. 77 residents manually wrote in Morrison's name. That, my friends, is a landslide, according to a local outlet, Cardinal News. His victory follows a recent leadership shakeup in the small community where 5 of 6 Rich Creek Town Council members, as well as the previous mayor appointed in early 2025, abruptly resigned.
Can I tell you where he went wrong? And I don't want to give Jackson any credit for a good story, but I know where this mayor made his error.
Where's that?
Apologizing.
You know, the train just derailed. I'm stressed. I needed a drink.
The people elected him to be there for them.
That's right.
And that's where he was.
He was there.
Was he supposed to wait 8 to 10 hours to sober up when an emergency was happening in his town? I think it's commendable.
77 votes.
He should have taken Uber, but
real quick.
You think they got Uber there?
Probably.
I'll be real quick. This is a true story. Whenever I was in Tulsa, we were covering a homicide in a small town outside of Tulsa. All the media's lined up. We're waiting for the sheriff to come talk to us. The sheriff stumbles up, takes a deep breath, and blows it out. And we all smell what was either Jim Beam or Jack Daniels.
He had had a couple.
And the media, we're just all kind of looking at each other, but nobody asked, Sheriff, are you drunk?
The story just changed, guys. But he got away with it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, all right. You guys ready for the winner?
Yes, sir.
I honestly don't even need to do it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. We're looking at the vote tallies. I've already run away with this thing.
That's not fair.
Thank you to the early voting. But buckle up because I have the champion of the entire segment here. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Meet 45-year-old Patrick Keyes. This is a man who turned the old saying, the early bird gets the worm, into the early bird gets the burglary charge, okay?
All right.
It was late Tuesday night. Mr. Patrick, he casually walked into a Best Buy on East Foothill Boulevard in Pasadena, California, like any other customer would, except he never walked back out, okay? He found himself a hiding spot. He waited for the lights to go out and the doors to lock, and then he had the whole store to himself, and he started going on a little private shopping spree. Around 1 a.m., employees watching the live security feed are like, wait, who is this man wandering around the store? Who is this guy? And he's out there, and he's doing his thing. He's grabbing snacks. He grabbed some drinks. He even busted open a pair of AirPods, okay, to test them out. He didn't keep them. He didn't keep them. Let the record show this man did not keep the AirPods. There was no forced entry. He just played the longest game of hide and seek ever. Now, cops showed up. The managers opened the door, and they find Patrick inside, and there was no issue. They took him into custody, no problem. And he was arrested on suspicion of burglary. Here's where it gets very interesting, okay? And I'm not a detective. I just play one on TV, but I think I know the motive. Outside the store, there was a crowd of Pokemon fans who had been camping out overnight for the big Scarlet and Violet 151 card drop. Again, this is just me speculating. Patrick wanted to get ahead of the lines and not deal with scalpers, and he didn't want to camp outside in the cold, so he camped inside, got first dibs on the Charizards, and he thought maybe I'll flip a few of these online, and he'll get rich before anyone notices, okay? But he went from wanting to catch them all to catching a burglary charge. That's why Patrick is my nincompoop in the news.
Man, he almost got away with it.
When was that story from, Chris?
Pasadena, California.
When?
It doesn't matter.
Brother Jackson's getting technical.
Because I'm aware of when 151 dropped.
This is from April 29th is my date on the story. April 14th, 2026.
Are we going to have a recount?
Listen, I didn't give any grief when the text line started saying Jackson needs to be DQ'd because that story's been done before.
That story has not been done before. It dropped yesterday.
I don't think so. That's not what people are saying. That's not what I have multiple people saying that you've been DQ'd.
People be texting, but it do.
Are you actually fact checking my story?
No, I'm looking at the fact checking for
they warned me,
the DQ.
They warned me you were a sore loser, but I thought as a Vols fan, you would have plenty of practice by now.
You're a Virginia fan, right?
I'm a no fan.
That was a enjoyable round of 32, Ken.
I don't do much sports ball.
Brother Chris Hand doesn't watch sports ball.
Give me the trophy. Give me the trophy.
No way, dude. It's Friday.
I'm taking it.
The Nincompoops Charter says the trophy stays the entire week with the previous winner. It only transfers the following week.
No.
No, Murphy, he made the deal.
I made the deal with Murphy.
But I don't think he's going to win.
Oh, son of a
I
biscuit.
made the deal with Murphy that I'm going to win.
Ooh, 73 votes for Ken Weaver just came in.
Here's the thing. If you don't vote for me, it really doesn't hurt me at all. I'm a grown man. But I have several young children at home who have been looking forward to eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch out of a trophy for the past week and a half.
That's low.
So if you want to disappoint the kids, go ahead. Vote for Weaver.
That's low.
Vote for Williams. I'll let them know it wasn't Dad's fault. It was...
All I can hear is little Brooks and little Kennedy's voices, man.
You wouldn't want to do that to them, now would you?
Oh. Little Bishop. Come on.
We're getting a late surge for Chris. We're getting a surge. I'm just saying. If you want children to cry and deprive them of happiness, there are other stories that you can vote for. But if you want to win, vote for a winner.
Well, we may have to call a special session.
615-737-9986. Vote early, vote often.
Vote Weaver!
It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Vote for me!
Don't do that to the kids. Don't do it to the kids.
I hope that Holly and or David would be listening right now from Savory Spice, because I just got a message from Cameron Smith, and he said, I went to Savory Spice today, and he was praising Pam. Yeah. Were you praising Pam? Yep. He was praising Pam as a wonderful help to him. What'd you go get? Can you say?
I needed spices for a lamb marinade.
Ooh.
And so I got it. We tried many different ones, and they have tea there.
They do.
I did not know they had loose leaf tea.
You know what? I should maybe promote more of the other things they have outside of the spices and the seasonings and the salts and the peppers and the different flavorings. They've got things that are unique and specific to Savory Spice. in as much as they build the seasonings right there in their shop, and they sell them in the same shop. They also have great gift-giving ideas. Cameron mentions the teas. They've got syrups. They've got all manner of different things for the cook in the kitchen. If you love cooking, you need to get to Savory Spice. If you know someone that loves cooking, you need to get to Savory Spice. If you're looking to restock the cupboards, Savory Spice. If you're looking for an exotic flavor, Savory Spice. You don't have to pay more to get more, and you get more at Savory Spice. So from Cameron and Matt, thank you, Holly. Thank you, David. Thank you, Savory Spice, located just off the square in Franklin. It is difficult to find someone that you can trust in the HVAC industry, which is why I repeatedly tell you about Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. I trust this man as the day is long. He's got a great staff of people that work underneath him at Efficient Heating and Cooling. He does not strive to be the biggest HVAC company in the state of Tennessee. He simply wants to be the best, the most regarded. And I trust him, a small company with big service and big results in mind. He helped me when I moved into my new home. I put in a new HVAC unit. Thank you to Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. And now he wants you to give him a call if you've not done your maintenance yet on your HVAC, on your air conditioner. Time to do it. Plenty of time to get it done. And you get that maintenance guarantee when you get it done. And you never pay over $125, no matter how many units you have within their service area. There are elite pro partners with Rheem. When it comes time, they'll find the right unit for you and your family. All you need to do is make the call that so many others have made. 615-784-4424, 784-4424, or online at efficienthvac.net.
We've got breaking news on abortion pills, a special legislative session in Tennessee, also President Trump regarding U.S. troops in Germany, and that Channel 4 investigation into the Nashville school superintendent spending practices. All this and more coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
57 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy. What size is the crown?
Too small for my head, perfect for Ken's.
I think it's going to fit me. Fit. I got was it 5 more votes coming just from Murfreesboro? The wife texted me.
Son of a biscuit eater.
And I'm looking at the text line. It doesn't look good for you guys. People are mad that I emotionally extorted them. Shout out to Nolene, but you have to do what you got to do. And then one person said, I was going to vote for Chris until he disparaged the Vols. I was disparaging Jackson. Don't you understand? It's different.
No, you can't walk it back.
It's different. I was disparaging Jackson. I'm coming to you once again, and I'm asking for your vote. Go Vols.
Let me clarify my statement.
Let me clarify. All right. I like him. I'm just saying. All right, so who tallies the votes? I'll tally them. Do we do that right now?
No, we wait till 6:10.
Okay, voting closes at 6:10. There's still time to get your votes in, and I'm winning. I'm just letting everybody know. I got a lot of votes. And then you factor in the early voting. And then,
Weaver, I'm pretty hosed. I need you to pick it up.
What am I going to do, man?
I don't know. Start campaigning. Do what I do.
I know one thing. We're going to have a talk with Murphy about these executive sessions he goes into on the Nincompoops Charter.
You know, sometimes you got to make a deal, and that's what Matt Murphy did.
Smells like fascism to me.
You guys got to watch Godfather Part 11, and then you'll know exactly what's going on.
This is not what Nincompoops looks like.
Okay. Scott voted for me, and so did his 3 dogs. That's 4 votes right there. Dogs are allowed to vote in Nincompoops as well. And they're allowed to vote in California if you've been keeping score at home.
Fritz voted for me, and he's a wiener, and that counts for 2 because he's so long.
Okay. We'll keep tallying these votes. We'll let you know who wins, and if you see me with the trophy, you'll know. You'll know. I'm going to be having that thing around Murfreesboro. Do you think if I brought the trophy to Panera, they would load it up with broccoli cheddar?
Please don't do that.
You think they would?
No.
I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go to a 7-Eleven. I'm going to fill it with Slurpee as well.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm going to do all of that. Just get your votes in. 615-737-9986. Headlines with Weaver right now on Super Talk.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes, and we got a lot of breaking news right now. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has ordered abortion pills once again be dispensed only in person nationwide. And here in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee has announced lawmakers will return to Nashville for a special legislative session on Tuesday. The focus will be Tennessee's congressional districts, including the Memphis-based 9th District. Lee says the goal is to ensure maps are fair, legal, and defensible under current law. Democrats argued the timing could impact minority representation ahead of the August primary. President Trump's ordering the withdrawal of about 5,000 U.S. troops from Germany. The Pentagon says the drawdown to take place over the next 6 to 12 months. It follows a public dispute with Germany's chancellor over the war with Iran and NATO burden sharing. And Operation Epic Fury, here's what President Trump said today about the latest offer of peace from Iran.
So they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we'll see what happens. Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it.
Meanwhile, the 60-day deadline under the 1973 War Powers Resolution has passed. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
This formal 60-day notification to Congress is in keeping with the War Powers Resolution. Citing the ongoing ceasefire, the letter from the president says hostilities with Iran have, quote, terminated. That language comes right out of the law, which says the president must terminate any use of the military after 60 days of a conflict unless Congress votes to authorize force. Despite the letter, which carries his signature, President Trump tells reporters he believes the 1973 law is unconstitutional, and he won't ask Congress to authorize the war.
Back here in Middle Tennessee, Channel 4 Investigate says records show Nashville School Superintendent Dr. Adrian Battle charged nearly $20,000 in travel expenses, including upscale hotels and high-end meals, to her district credit card. That's taxpayer money. Her travel spending significantly outpaced neighboring districts, drawing criticism from parents and education experts. Here's Channel 4's Jeremy Finley.
Those receipts show she often didn't travel alone, bringing staff, spending more than $4,600 on dinners. And some of those dinners got pricey. For example, at Ocean Prime in Washington, D.C., ordering sea bass entrees and a New York strip. The bill ended up at $711.24 for Battle and staff.
Yeah, the district responded to the story to Channel 4 that the travel of the superintendent supports leadership development, strategic relationships, and brings value back to metro schools. Well, Channel 4 says its examination of Battle spending follows a $6.5 million lawsuit that MNPS, the school district, agreed to resolve. That lawsuit brought by 5 former administrators and employees who alleged Dr. Battle retaliated and discriminated against them. Also, Dr. Battle's decision to spend $165,000 to remodel her office with a private bathroom. And I have late word that state lawmakers have been discussing launching an audit of Metro Nashville Public Schools. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Crashes Berry Hill, 65 northbound at I-440, 440 eastbound at 24, 65 southbound past Harding Place, 24 westbound at Waldron Road. Then in Spring Hill, 65 northbound right there at Saturn Parkway. Almaville, 840 eastbound at Almaville Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
8 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy. My reign is officially about to begin as the king around here. Don't you have the royal music? You got to hit the royal music for me. There it is. It's the only reason I signed up to do this. What do you think of the crown? It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I got used to it.
Weaver's making a late surge.
No, it's not gonna happen. He had one guy text in that he had 50 fish in his aquarium, all voting for Weaver. But if you're looking on the Facebook page, I even got a vote from somebody's dead relatives.
That sounds a lot like one of our elections.
Well, no. Just because I had the historic 81 million vote election in Nincompoops in the News doesn't mean that it's out of the ordinary.
Wait, here comes Ken.
Oh.
Yay!
Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, gosh, there's a water main break. We have to stop voting, guys. Sorry.
Somebody put some plastic over that
hold
box.
on. Yeah, sorry. Oh, gosh.
Oh, and all the votes for Weaver and I just...
We'll have to figure that out some other time. We'll have to get back to voting a different day then.
You got the plastic over those boxes, right?
I can't wait. So I really am. I'm gonna put some broccoli cheddar in this thing.
Broccoli.
What? I'm gonna get some broccoli ched.
See, I don't think Jackson's upset about that, about food being in the bowl. I think it's the fact that it's going to be broccoli.
Yeah, that'll stink it up.
Broccoli cheddar.
I'm fine with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yep. Voting is officially done. The water main broke, so we can't take any more votes.
And I know your youngins aren't going to want to eat broccoli out of it.
They love some broccoli cheddar. They just move the broccoli pieces to the side.
Exactly.
They're there for the cheddar. The broccoli's the distraction. A lot of votes for Chris Hand. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Voting is officially closed because the water main broke. I can't wait. I'm gonna post pictures of this thing everywhere all weekend long. I'm gonna bring it to the baseball field.
It's just going to be everywhere.
I'm gonna let the kids know what a champion looks like. This is some serious hardware. This is from Dr. Mitch, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, he spares no expense in it, dude. He's serious about it. Have you seen the one-hit wonder wrestling belt?
I have.
It's heavy.
It's legit. I wore it. I'm not gonna do that. I'll leave something else for you guys. I could do the one-hit wonders. You guys never touch hip hop, by the way.
I have.
You've dabbled.
Oh, I can go deep in it.
I'm waiting for somebody to come with like a Mims. This is why I'm hot, but nobody does it. Nobody does it. But yeah, we're gonna have. This is gonna be my Stanley Cup all weekend. And I can't believe you guys have disgraced this trophy. There is a ridiculous amount of dust on it. I'm going to have to clean it up.
That's Jones' fault.
I'm going to polish it. So this trophy's going to be looking really good. Don't worry. I'm going to take good care of it all weekend long. And then I will retire, and I will never again participate in Nincompoops in the News.
For like 3 months until we need you to fill in again.
Until Murphy goes on vacation.
I will only be just a friendly observer who will participate with the story, but I will not be requesting votes. I'm going to retire a champion.
That's how you do, man. You go out on top.
People don't think it'd be like it is, but it do, Ken.
A single term.
They do be texting.
Somebody said it will never fit Hand's giant head. Well, joke's on you. It fits.
Yeah, it almost fits my head, and I got a big grape, as people would say.
If the crown fits, you must acquit. Wait, no, that's not the right saying. We're gonna go down. We're gonna get some ice cream. We'll go to Andy's. We'll get some custard.
I haven't been to that yet, but I've heard it's real good.
Oh, it's good.
Woo!
I'm the most boring guy in the world. I get vanilla. That's
no
it.
sprinkles, no nothing.
Nothing.
Not even a little bit of.
That's kid stuff.
Not even some peanuts.
I need some classic vanilla.
That's old school.
That's it. That's the only flavor I like. That's it.
You're right, though, dude. One hit wonder. I got to start busting out some of my old hip hop stuff.
Dude, you got us. Get some crisscross in there.
Yeah, but see, my faves were Eric B. and Rakim.
Yep.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yep.
EPMD. I don't know if I know of any one-hit wonder from back in the day. I'll have to look them up, though.
Okay. You guys have done Sugar Hill Gang before.
Oh, yeah.
That song would never work in today's era. I mean, it was like 8 minutes long.
Yeah, it's too long.
And, like, I think the second verse is just completely stolen. Like, the guy's like, and then he starts rapping somebody else's name. Right? It's the truth.
Dude, I remember when a neighbor of mine across the street, she got that song. And I mean, every kid on my block, we were in her room just jamming that song.
Oh, it's a banger.
It is.
Do you think this thing would fit in the Wally's Bean machine if I went and got a coffee in the commercial break?
You'd have to hold it.
Okay. I might have to do it. We're going to have some fun this weekend. At Chris Hand on air if you want pictures. I already texted a selfie to Matt Murphy. I haven't heard back from him. I did. I texted a selfie. I just wanted to let him know it's coming home with me. I'll bring it back Monday. It'll be looking good. And then you guys can do what you do here on the afternoon show once again. And then it'll probably go back to Weaver because you've been on a win streak.
Yeah, I've had it for 2 consecutive weeks.
Yep.
But Jackson had it. Good grief, Jackson had it like a month and a
2
half.
months.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Generational run.
Yes.
Like the Patriots in the 2000s.
Man. We were talking about that during the commercial break. We were talking, me and Jackson were talking about sports documentaries.
Yeah, because I wondered if you saw the Red Sox one that was on Netflix earlier this year.
It was so good. And I told him, so this is my boy during baseball. He got hit with a pitch, and then he did the Nomar remember as he walked up first. And I was like, don't do that. You can't do that. But yeah, we like that one. And then there's a few ones. The one on the NBA betting scandal, that was ESPN, but it's on Netflix now. On Tim Donaghy. That is a wild one.
Oh, no, that's a Netflix one. That's a Untold.
Yeah, that's solid.
And the Malice at the Palace one's good.
Yep.
A lot of good basketball ones.
Malice at the Palace was wild. The Palace of Auburn Hills was the best. When we lived in Detroit in 2013, you could get in the stadium for like $4. Seriously.
Yeah.
And then sit anywhere. It was awesome. There is still some news to talk about outside of me having this unbelievably nice trophy.
Not fair.
And this wonderful lion crown with these jewels. I mean, do you hear the hardware? That's coming home. And we'll talk about it. I wanted to talk about fraud. There has been some updates with the anti-fraud task force. Secretary Brooke Rollins has been giving some updates as well. And I think the fraud story is a winning recipe for Republicans in 2026 because it affects so many. Right now, you do have disillusioned independents and disillusioned moderates. But when you look at how popular this administration was when DOGE was in full effect, I think we can harness that same energy with the anti-fraud task force. And I think going after the fraud is one of the ways to do it, and they are going after it. Dr. Oz froze $91 million of Tim Walz's Minnesota money due to a bombshell revelation that about $14 million has gone to illegal aliens. He broke it all down on X. He posted this video, and I'll bring it to you.
Let me walk you through what's happening in Minnesota, because at its core, this is about protecting patients and respecting taxpayers. We've notified Governor Walz and state leaders that CMS is deferring an additional $91 million in federal Medicaid funding. That's not a step we take lightly, but it's a necessary one. Here's the issue. Minnesota's state-run programs have raised serious red flags, from the so-called Leering Center scandal to a recent Department of Justice raid tied to child care billing concerns. And don't forget how fraud tourists from other states took advantage of Minnesota's weak enforcement to allegedly use AI to fabricate records and steal another $3.5 million. These aren't isolated problems. They suggest deeper vulnerabilities in how funds may be managed. At CMS, our responsibility is clear. The federal government covers more than half of Medicaid costs, which means we have both the authority and the duty to make sure these dollars are used properly. When something doesn't look right, we investigate. It's our job.
And they should be doing this. They should be freezing these funds, because if we left it to the Democrats in charge of Minnesota, things like this would happen. Just yesterday, Minnesota Democrats voted to block an amendment that would have stopped funding from going to the Equality Leering Center. This is the same facility that was exposed by Nick Shirley, the same facility that was raided just 2 days ago by federal law enforcement. Like, the government has to step in here, because if we let the Democrats do what the Democrats do, people are going to continue stealing money.
Earlier this year, our audit of fourth quarter fiscal year 2025 billing led us to defer over $250 million. These findings were concerning enough that we expanded our review. And that's what led to this latest $91 million deferral. Now, based on what we've seen so far, roughly $14 million may have gone towards illegal immigrants who weren't supposed to be getting this coverage.
I thought illegal aliens don't get coverage like that. That's what we've been told, right? Or then when they move the goalposts, they say, well, it happens, but it's so rare. It barely happens at all. And now Dr. Oz says, no, $14 million.
That's exactly the kind of issue we're working to correct. Now, this isn't about punishment. It's about partnership and accountability. We're offering Minnesota the support they need to fix these problems. But at the same time, we cannot and will not pay claims that don't meet federal standards. So we're asking for additional documentation to verify these charges. Until these concerns are fully addressed, CMS will continue to use every tool available to safeguard Medicaid.
Good. It's not just Medicaid either. Secretary Brooke Rollins was exposing what's going on with SNAP. And it's not just blue states. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. The fraud is happening across the entire country. This is why we need a whole of government approach. But in red states, they found 500,000 people getting more than one federal welfare benefit illegally, and 244,000 dead people getting federal benefits. Brooke Rollins exposed this last night with Laura Ingram. Listen to this.
Governor in America is saying fraud and abuse in the SNAP program, the food stamp program, will end. And please be our partner in this. 29 states responded. All but 2 were, of course, red states, Republican governors, and they said, yes, we are in. And within that data dump, billions of pieces of data that we're now sharing with the states, we found 500,000 people getting more than one benefit illegally. We found 244,000 dead people. Laura, this is just the red states. In that time, we have now arrested, it's just the red states. We have now arrested 895 different people in the last year for illegally using the food stamp system. And now, of course, we're talking about what is happening with that money. So we're making a lot of progress. Of course, the blue states are suing us to say that they don't have to share that data, but the corruption is absolutely astounding. The vice president has now leaned in with his fraud task force. We are now on supercharged, not that we weren't before, but now we're really on warp speed to do everything we can in the next 2.5 years to get this under control and to change it for good.
I mean, I think that 2.5 years is it's a great goal, but I think that we need to be working on this over the next couple of months so we can haul these people in front of a judge, have real accountability, and then show the American people the results. And this shouldn't be partisan. You heard her say, well, we're being sued in blue states. They're saying that they don't have to share this information. Red states are cooperating. That's why they're exposing this. But it's insane. It is absolutely insane. The Department of Agriculture also reported that in one state, they found SNAP recipients owning more than 14,000 luxury cars. Like, we're talking Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Maseratis and Porsches. If you're on SNAP, why wouldn't you just sell your car?
SNAP participants own more than 14,000 luxury cars. That includes 3 Ferraris, 11 Lamborghinis, 59 Maseratis, 141 Porsches, and more than 2,000 Teslas. So how does this happen? Secretary Brooke Rollins says there's an exemption called broad-based categorical eligibility that allows people to receive benefits without state officials reviewing their physical and monetary assets. Right now, 42 states have the program. Rollins believes they are very close to fixing that loophole. The department says it has moved 43 million people off SNAP so far and is pushing for more. And this year, more than 150 arrests have been made for allegedly misusing the system.
I mean, can you believe that? It's just because they're using the honor system. A country that is $39 trillion in debt, no, we can't be relying on the honor system. I got some more of this on the way. Hang out with us at 622. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. Folks, when you travel through the city, sometimes you'll see these big billboards. They say U.S. Pest on them. Those are J.K. and Erica's billboards. You notice that you'll always see an American flag flying on one of those billboards. And we always mention how much they love these United States of America because America helped J.K. and Erica build U.S. Pest from what it was over the years to what it is now. It is the finest pest control company in Middle Tennessee, bar none. They're going to handle the issues that you have in your home, whether they're termites or just general bugs. Maybe you got roaches. Maybe you got spiders. Maybe you need crawl space relief. All of this is with a 100% money-back guarantee. But when you see those American flags flying or you hear me mention their love of this to the United States, know this. One thing you need to know about them, they love the United States of America. And the second thing you need to know about them is they hate bugs, and they will destroy them and where they live and where they breed and where they breathe in and around your property. All you got to do is call them. USPest.com. That's USPest.com or 590-1260. 590-1260. Give them a call and tell them that I sent you to the one and only U.S. Pest. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy for Accurate Mortgage. You know, if you are looking to buy, for whatever reason, maybe you're downsizing, maybe you've become an empty nester and you're looking to shrink the footprint, or perhaps you're adding to the family and you're at that part of your life where you're needing to add square footage. Whatever your situation, Accurate Mortgage has your back. They can help you find the places for you in the budget that you have set out for you and your family. They can get you the lowest interest rate possible. And here's the wonderful thing. They're local to our community. They're not some 1-800 number, or you don't become just a number on a loan application. You are family, your friends, your neighbors, and they treat you as such. Mike and his team treated me so well when we moved to Mount Pleasant. They were my mortgage company, and I want them to be yours. They're never going to advise you to make a loan that doesn't make sense for you financially, and you will understand everything that's going on long before you put pen to paper and sign your name to it. Accurate Mortgage, whether it's a cash-out refi to pay off some of that high-interest debt, maybe it's something that you're looking to do to add on to your home and a renovation plan, or you're looking to buy, Accurate Mortgage is your team. AccurateMTG.com, AccurateMTG.com, Accurate Mortgage and MLS 129944. Rates and terms subject to change. Equal housing lender.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. The headlines less than 3 minutes away. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy. I was talking about fraud a minute ago, and I got a text. They said, hey, Chris, speaking of fraud, congratulations on the nincompoops win. What? There was no fraud there. We tallied the votes as long as we could, and then the water main broke. So, I mean, talk to Cumulus. Do we have a plumber on staff?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Perfect. Yeah, so we did what we could. We did what we could as best as we could. None of us are plumbers. We had to deal with what we had to deal with. There was no shenanigans. Everything's fine. I promise. You know what's not fine? People using foreign domains to sign up for SNAP and food stamp welfare benefits. And here's the craziest part. States allowed it. And they were taken advantage of by Canada, China, Mexico, and more. Secretary Brooke Rollins exposed this last night.
1,000 email accounts were used to sign up for food stamps from some in foreign countries, Canada, China, Mexico. You can't even make this. This is like COVID fraud.
It really is so scary to think if President Trump hadn't won, November of 2024, I don't know that we would have ever gotten our country back. I really don't believe that. Because we had the first term, and then we had 4 years to sort of get ready and organize and then go really fast, this is why we're uncovering all of this. What you're talking about is this crazy thing called broad-based categorical eligibility. 46 states use it, which basically just means, oh, here's an electric bill and here's an email address. There's no identification verification required, and anybody can sign up for it. And in the Biden years, the food stamp program grew by 40%. Of course, they're buying votes, right? They're hoping that using all of this government money will create more voters for them, illegal and legal. And that's why they're fighting so hard against us right now to keep this data from coming in so that we can really fix the program. But we're going to do it. We're making a lot of progress. And I'm really grateful to the USDA team. It's our inspector general at USDA that has really found those 893 that have been arrested, that are going to trial, that are going to jail. And yeah, we're not going to, exactly, it is a drop in the bucket, but it's important thinking about where we are, where we were. We've got a lot of work to do.
Well, I hope they get that work done. Hey, on the way, we'll talk about what's going on or what happened earlier today with the May Day protests and all of the public school teachers that encourage the kids to go out there instead of, helping them to read. That's coming up next after the headlines with Ken Weaver. It starts right now on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
Matt Murphy for Grace Point Healthcare. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Let's agree on this point. Long waiting for a visit to the doctor stinks. Long wait times when you get to the doctor, that stinks as well. You don't receive either of those things at Grace Point Healthcare. They don't believe in those types of things. Grace Point Healthcare believes in helping you right now, today or tomorrow. That's oftentimes what they're going to say when you call them and ask for an appointment at Grace Point, even for brand new patients. Grace Point Healthcare is located in Franklin, 599-6868, by the way, 599-6868. We call them modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way because it's a direct pay primary care physician's practice, meaning you pay Grace Point, and then you can file with your insurance company for reimbursement after the fact. Bottom line is this is the way that it should be because it keeps prices low at the point of payment. Plus, with the basic Smart Care plan, you pay $99 a month and you get unlimited office visits for the entire year. That's the way it ought to be. Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Go today in Franklin. Legendary coach Lou Holtz once said, before people spend money, they ask three questions. Can I trust you? Are you committed to excellence? And do you care about me? Friends, it's Matt Murphy, and I can say with Eurofix, those three answers are an emphatic yes, yes, and yes. Back in 1999, owner Aaron Stokes was by himself in a one-car garage in downtown Franklin. A few months later, he moved into a shop in a barn behind his house so he could stay close to his family while building his dream of offering the best European vehicle repair at below dealer pricing. Flash forward to today. The barn's gone, and sadly, I'm here to say that Aaron is gone too. But Eurofix is continuing that tradition that he laid out over the 26 years that he was a part of the Eurofix family and really the driving force behind it. Thriving in 5 separate locations: Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty. Free, a rental car available at every appointment. Friends, it is time. If you want solid European auto repair, get to Eurofix. Go to myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
"37 minutes past the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand, filling in for Matt Murphy. We got a lot to get to. I want to talk about these May Day protests, but before we go any further, I just hope everybody understands that they're still voting in the nincompoops, and we have standards around here. We don't accept late ballots.
We had a water main break.
I mean, this is stuff that was out of our control. We can't, and if your ballots are coming in, we're not accepting any more votes.
Postmark too late.
Trophy's coming home to Murfreesboro. It's going to be awesome. I might even put it on display during my show on Monday too, because it's really nice.
You just be careful.
I will. Has anybody ever broken like the Stanley Cup, going home and celebrating with it?
Yes.
All right. So there's precedent.
Didn't the Patriots dent the Super Bowl trophy?
Yes, I think they did. And then there was that college team that like had the trophy and like broke it immediately. Remember that?
Oh,
it was like the crystal one.
I think it was hockey.
Was that hockey?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, they broke it, so I'll try not to break it. But we are going to eat broccoli cheddar out of it.
Can we do Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Is that a negotiable?
It's going to be both.
Clean that thing.
We will, and then we'll go to 7-Eleven and bring your own cup day, and we'll have some slushies. It's going to be awesome. Maybe even a root beer float. That'd be cool.
Love a root beer float.
Man, a good root beer float, some A&W and some vanilla. It's awesome. This is what the kids want. This is what the kids need. You know what kids don't need? They don't need to be dragged to a protest by their radical leftist teachers, and that has been happening all day long, especially in places like, I don't know, the usual suspects, Los Angeles, Chicago, cities where kids can't read or do math good. It's a bit shocking, but the teachers are dragging them out there anyway. I got videos for you to prove it. But before we get to that, let's talk about May Day. What's happening on the streets today? It's Marxist and communist-linked groups with about $2 billion in revenue organizing today's 3,000-strong May Day protests against President Trump. The same people that say mud democracy are also out there on the streets chanting for communism.
It is May 1st. It's May Day. And it's also May Day protests. They're calling it May Day Strong, where millions of people across America will participate in these protests. They're calling for an economic blackout, no work, no school, and no shopping to protest Donald Trump and the billionaire takeover.
Yeah, this is overall the biggest story is the whole Democrats feel that way. This is a version of socialism, communism. That's what they're doing. I mean, they celebrate this in China and Russia. Now they celebrate it because that's the Democrats. They feel as though the problem in America are rich people.
Yeah, this is a direct result of what's happening on the college campuses, even in high school, where they're teaching these kids not that if you grew up in poverty, you can make it in this country, get a good job, get a good education from the ground up. They're taking, you can just steal it from the people that did the hard work and have wealth redistribution. And there's a whole list of candidates. It used to be just Crazy Bernie. Now Crazy Bernie has a whole squad of people that support it.
Yeah, and let's talk about the squad. It's always the usual suspects, the Ilhan Omars, the AOCs, the Rashida Tlaibs. And these radical leftists want you to think that America is a trash country. And believe it or not, with all of its blemishes, all of its warts, we are still the greatest country on planet Earth, where you can make something of yourself despite where you started. And these teachers, these leftist organizations, these commies and these socialists are pumping indoctrination into the soft little heads of these kids in Chicago and in Los Angeles. And it's absolutely disgusting. In Chicago, they were actually using public school buses today to transport children to anti-Trump demonstrations. This is insane. So not only are they taking them out of the school for the day, where they have a 40% proficiency in English and a 26% proficiency in math, but they're using the school buses and the resources to bring them to a protest where, I mean, let's be honest, I haven't heard it yet, and I hope it doesn't happen, but these protests can turn violent relatively quickly. This is the latest from CBS News Chicago.
Potentially hundreds of kids will be allowed to take a field trip to a May Day rally in Union Park during that school day. Last year's May Day rally in Union Park brought together thousands of people speaking out in opposition to the policies of the Trump administration. According to the agreement between Chicago Public Schools and the Chicago Teachers Union, CPS will provide buses for field trips of students and educators to attend the 1 p.m. May Day rally in Union Park this year.
And that's exactly what they did. A friend of mine, Jonathan Cho, who's an unbelievable investigative reporter, he was down there on the ground and he's watching these kids get out of school and go down to a protest. Now, I don't necessarily blame the kids. I mean, you've been in high school before. I've been in high school before. I would have gladly taken a day out of school. But when these teachers and these teacher unions claim to want the best for these kids, and you have a 40% English proficiency and a 26% math proficiency, having a field trip to a protest doesn't sound like the best idea, but that's exactly what they did. Again, Jonathan Cho, reporter for Frontlines, was on the ground today filming this happen in real time. Kid after kid after kid getting off buses. And then a teacher, when
What
Cho...
school you guys go to?
Here, listen.
What school you guys with?
Yeah, they're not consent. They're not consenting.
They're not consent?
That's one of their teachers.
I'm sorry to bug you. Are you a teacher? I'm just wondering why you told the kids not to consent. Did you want to say anything? Just wondering who you are. Are you a parent?
No, she was a teacher. And she ran away. She didn't want to answer any questions because she knows how bad this looks. Again, this is Chicago, where violence breaks out on random days just because it's Chicago, and you have all of these high school kids out of school where they need to be, and you're making them protest? Got it. It wasn't just Chicago. It was also Los Angeles. And many of these parents are accusing the far-left teachers union of trying to indoctrinate these impressionable students in one-sided political activism that's anti-Trump and influenced by communist ideology, reports Frontlines. In Los Angeles, the May Day protesters showed up their signs, and the signs were pretty much exactly what you'd expect. They had signs that said ICE are domestic terrorists. They had signs that said communism means no borders. They had signs that said America was never great. Got it. We're still great. And all of these commies that you would find out there, you could say, oh, please tell us which country you would rather live in. And they never have a good enough answer. I mean, even one of their heroes, Renee Nicole Good, didn't she leave? She fled to Canada, and then she came back because it wasn't right for her. She settled down in Minnesota before she drove her car at ICE agents. You know, the ICE that they're claiming are domestic terrorists. In Los Angeles, May Day protesters also started chanting, "We want citizenship now." They're giving you a look into what they want to do should they ever regain power. And it's just that. It's full-on communism and mass amnesty for illegal aliens. They're waving Mexican flags. They have flags from their own countries, and they're chanting, "We want amnesty." Sounds like really just a fun place to be. We want citizenship now. This is what's going to happen if Democrats ever regain power. This is one of the reasons why I'm so adamant on the Trump administration and the Senate Republicans nuking the filibuster, because the Democrats will do it the minute they get into office. And you know what they're going to do to all those people that are screaming, "We want citizenship now"? They're going to give it to them. Mass amnesty will be on the way. I also wonder, where is ICE? Like, can we step up the mass deportations in this country? I understand the talking points of we have to target the worst first, but we are now in May, and this is Trump 2.0. I think we've had enough time to target the worst first, don't you? I think now we should be going after everybody. I think that's the most fair thing to do. I'm sorry that your abuela makes awesome tamales, but she shouldn't be here if she's here illegally. And all of these people screaming that they want citizenship, go home and do it the right way. You'll get a nice stipend on your way out the door. Seriously. And ICE should be ramped up to take care of stuff like this. I would be checking papers. Oh, that's racist. Oh, they're screaming that they want citizenship. That would imply they don't have it. So let's find out. Let's send mass amounts of ICE agents down to these protests, and let's figure out who's who. That's what they should have done. They didn't. A little bit disappointing. But billions of dollars poured into these protests today. Billions. Insanity. Elsewhere, it is now being reported that Biden's DOJ did, in fact, target Christians. Yeah, I know you knew. I know you've been paying attention, but it's always interesting to see these things reported in real time and have it all spelled out in black and white for you. And they did just that earlier today on Fox News. And here's the funny part. When they targeted these Christians, they even used the SPLC to do it. The same SPLC that has been busted for giving money to the KKK and white supremacy groups to stage things like Charlottesville. They have, hold on, I got too many pieces of audio running in the background. They were using the SPLC to target Christians. It's absolutely insane, but it's not that shocking because we knew what time it was already.
New DOJ report alleging the Biden administration targeted Christians for investigations and prosecutions. Lauren Green is live from New York City.
This is what communists do, right? They go after Christians. You can't be Christian in a communist country. And the Democrats are full-blown communists. They were when Biden was in office. They are today.
Yes, much more. Hi, Lauren. Good morning.
Hey, Dana. Well, the Department of Justice-led task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias released 14 findings that paint a picture of the Biden presidency that went beyond disagreement and moved to punishing Christians who held conservative religious beliefs in conflict with the administration's pro-choice gender ideology agenda. The report found the Biden DOJ brought multiple cases against pro-life activists, many of them Christians, under the FACE Act, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances. Email correspondence shows prosecutors privately mocked Christian pro-life views as culty and pursued more severe charges and harsher sentences for peaceful protests or pro-life defendants.
Are you stunned that they think that you not wanting an unborn baby to be killed in the womb is culty? That because you don't want that unborn baby to lose its life, that you deserve harsher charges and that you're going to be mocked by these leftists and these commies at the highest levels of the government should Democrats be in power? Does that even surprise you? It doesn't surprise me.
In contrast, following the Dobbs decision in 2022 that overturned Roe v. Wade, there was a wave of vandalism and arson targeting churches and pregnancy resource centers. But the Biden DOJ pursued comparatively few prosecutions under the same FACE Act. Christian colleges and institutions were scrutinized and penalized for holding traditional views on gender, accusing them of Title IX violations and threatening school funding and accreditation. The report also cited the infamous FBI memo out of the Richmond field office that warned of radical traditionalist Catholics as extremists. The memo was withdrawn after public backlash, but the DOJ revealed it relied on the now disgraced Southern Poverty Law Center's list of hate groups. But the task force report concluded that the administration worked to suppress religious speech it did not like and used the weight of the federal government to marginalize certain kinds of Christians.
Again, none of this is things that you didn't know, but it's wild to see it in black and white. The DOJ report alleging anti-Christian bias in the Biden administration using the SPLC, the same group that was funding the Nazis that we're told to be so afraid of, that are everywhere, hiding behind every corner. They were using them to go after Christians. It's right there for you. People said it wasn't happening. It is. It was. But if you happen to be targeting a church or a pro-life center, well, that's fine. They're not going to charge you harshly because, well, you're one of their voters.
People on the left think of themselves as defenders of the separation between church and state, but instead what you have is the state authorizing and sanctioning certain types of religion over others.
A spokesperson for President Biden declined to comment, but Catherine Lahman, a former education secretary for civil rights under the Biden administration, told Politico that, quote, there was no religious discrimination that operated to infect any of our investigations.
Sure. I believe it. They also have some great oceanfront property for us in Arizona. They have a bridge in San Francisco that we can purchase and more. Stacey Abrams is on record now defending the SPLC in light of their charges. I'll bring you that story when we get back. It's 6:51. Chris Hand in for Matt Murphy on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Folks, I hope that you've marked your calendar down for May 30th because it's going to be a pretty cool day in Nashville as we celebrate the 6th annual open house at the Glock store. Now, folks have been asking me, Murphy, is this really all that you claim it's cracked up to be? This will be my third year heading over to the Glock store for the big time open house. And let me tell you, it gets better every year. It is pretty darn good. It was pretty darn good last year. I thought it could never get better. But Dan and his team, they're like, folks, we're doubling up. We're doubling down, if you will. So last year, they gave away about $25,000 worth of incredible gear, including 3 Glocks. This year, there's a lot of raffling that's going to be going on because they have over $50,000 worth of great gear to give away. You heard me right. In one day, in 4 hours, they'll give away over $50,000 worth of stuff. Red Dot Optics, Radian Ramjets, and much, 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 much more. And I'm certain that there'll be some Glocks that will be given away as well. Now, the earlier you come, the less raffle tickets in the bucket, and they begin giving it away really early. And so this is between 10 and 2. You'll see yours truly. You'll see Dan Mandis. You'll see Chris Hand, and you will see raffles galore and giveaways galore at the one and only Glock store. Minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere, especially on May 30th. The big open house is happening at the one and only Glock store.
57 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Filling in for Matt Murphy. I got a text. Hey, can you let Randy in for me? He said he's in the back. He brought a U-Haul full of ballots. So
they're all for me.
No, he said they're for me. That's what he said. Matt Murphy also texted in. I sent him a picture of me with the trophy and the crown on my head. And he said, trash, fixed, rigged. No, it wasn't. The people just loved the nincompoop story I brought. Hey, you know the people don't love the SPLC. We actually now have documented proof that they were funding Nazi groups because there wasn't enough Nazis. They needed more Nazis so that way they could bring up the myth of white supremacism being the biggest threat to this country, the MAGA extremists. And Stacey Abrams is very upset. She's very upset after the SPLC was indicted by the DOJ. Stacey Abrams, the woman who went around for years saying that she was the rightful governor of Georgia. That's Stacey Abrams.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, or SPLC, is a legal organ that was founded in the South because while most people ignore this, the South has been under soft authoritarian rule since basically its beginning. And often what you see play out on the national stage got incubated in the South. And so we know in the South, we have always needed, for example, litigation as one of the tools to fight back against authoritarianism, whether that was Jim Crow, the KKK, the anti-Semitic behaviors that were manifest in the Deep South.
Jim Crow, Democrats, the KKK, Democrats, anti-Semitism. Well, that's been happening on our college campuses. Also, Democrats. This comes after last week when a federal grand jury in Alabama charged the SPLC with several counts of wire fraud, false statements to a federally insured bank, and conspiracy to commit concealment of money laundering, per Breitbart News. She's very upset because the game's over, my friends. We know exactly who you are. We've proved it, and now we're going to prove it in court. I'm looking forward to the developments on the SPLC. I really want to see some individuals named, not just the organization. Again, my name is Chris Hand. You can find me on all the social media platforms at Chris Hand on air. I've had a blast filling in for you today. I'm going to take this trophy home. I'm going to fill it up with some beefaroni. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to post them online. Find me there at Chris Hand on air.